Welcome to the Nomad Network, your first stop for complete and comprehensive Chicago Bears football coverage. Dive deep into analyses, updates, and all things Bears. Subscribe to our YouTube channel today and never miss a beat. Thank you in advance for your support. We promise to bring you the best because together we're unstoppable. Go Bears!
Yo, no maniacs. Welcome to another edition of Nomad at Night. We rocking in here, up in here. So listen, man, I just came fresh off of an interview that Herb Howard had. Good interview by Herb Howard. Shout out to the Bigs. Good interview. He had an interview with Ben Johnson and one with Ryan Post. I don't know if it was a third interview with somebody else like Dennis Allen, but I'm probably midway through the Ryan Poles is part of the interview. Saw Ben Johnson. Pretty good interview. Not very revealing, but man, they are keeping things tight to the vest. It's a lot of criticism out there, man. Let's just say that about what's been going on so far with the Bears and what they have and what they haven't done. You know, the fans are really never satisfied until they get the guys that they think the team needs or whoever they want in free agency. Man, they ain't gonna have no chill, man. And so Herb kind of was touching on it a little bit with I think might have been Ben Johnson a little bit, but it's refreshing to see this team be poised and patient about how they want to go about free agency. They know what they want. They know exactly what they want. They know exactly how they want to go about getting it. And it's about us being patient enough to see that plan manifest itself. And so, you know, I'm not going to be anti-Bear fans tonight. I'm just, again, you know me, I like to preach patience, man. It's not me, it's not you, it's not nobody in the chat tonight, nobody in the Bears fandom. It's not about us. It's about what they see as the ingredients to putting the best possible team together come 2026. And I like what they're doing so far. That's the best thing I can say, man.
Yeah, it's refreshing to hear them being GM Ryan Poles and head coach Ben Johnson talk about the things that we as fans, you know, have spoken about many times, you know, as if you joined us, you know, throughout the season during the games, the live reactions. Yes, you were highly entertained, but you've also heard us say things that it's like, hey, it would be cool if the team did this, that, or the other. Namely wide receivers. Hey, you got a quarterback that can go left, right. He doesn't know which way he's going because it just depends on which way the pressure's coming from. He spins, goes that direction. Receivers, let's not be spectators. Let's move to that side, flow with the quarterback. And Ben Johnson addressed that. He said he got in Randall's last about it, and so we expect to see that going forward. Ryan Poles said things, it's like we are, building toward a goal, and everybody's working synergistically, within Hallis Hall, and everybody knows their role, and they're doing their thing, and they want the consistency to take the North and not give it back. That doesn't bode well for older draft picks. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying. But yeah, it's good to hear, and so it's good times ahead. What say you up there, Canada?
Regular things, same things. Happy Easter to one and all. Thanks for joining us on a Sunday night for Nomad at Night.
Yeah, yeah, Easter, right on, right on.
You know, for those of you who partake, celebrate, or and those who do not, those who celebrate Passover and similar things. Again, hopefully you got your fill of eats and you're on to other things. As far as football is concerned, you know, a little bit of words from our head coach, a little bit of words from our GM, and some words from Roger Goodell, which is some absolute foolishness.
Mm.
And I don't believe we're sort of back on that, but I don't understand the precedent that he's setting, but that's fine. I guess every team can just hire a white man, and Rooney Rule be damned.
The white man has been aggrieved.
You know what I'm saying? So like he's been put in his position. He will be the primary football executive moving forward. And that is what the Rooney Rule has
led to.
You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what it's led to, right? It has solidified the white man's position in positions of power for every NFL team moving forward. Well done, NFL.
And so the one with the actual history, work history, and experience, that paid the dues and up the chain of the ladder and get to that position, sit and spin. Because we're gonna put this dude with no experience over you, and then the rule that we made, we're gonna just poo-poo all over, and then the Bears, did everything right, everything they supposed to do. Because guess what? It went from assistant general manager to general manager, and I'm sure he got a little increase in the pay. So he has the full reins of command. So we don't need to rehash it. Just take their ass to court, sue their ass. That's all I got to say.
You know what I'm saying? So look, I'm a Bears fan, clearly. You know what I mean? Clearly. Like, you know what I'm saying? All right. So get that out of the way. I'm just talking as a general thing.
Mm-hmm.
So Bears be damned in this in this general scenario. Moving forward, I run a football team. I hire white man X over top of black man Y, and Rooney Rule is negated. Moving forward in perpetuance, if you follow me.
Perpetuity.
Right? So that's how you get around. That's how you circumnavigate this rule that we put into place to potentially do something good in a situation that was kind of stark and semi impossible with respect to allowing a black man to sort of move up the ladder to do the darn thing within the ranks of general manager and the football upper echelon, if you will. Here we are, and that's what it looks like moving forward. So again, well done.
Huh?
Good job, NFL and Roger Goodell. Kudos to you. And I hope just Black America in general sues your ass. Like I hope,
that too.
You know what I mean? Like Chicago
many
Bears,
different levels.
Chicago Bears is one thing. I hope Black America sues your ass, because when this happens again next year, that's some bullshit.
Well, and I'm in agreement with Ryan Paul. Is like just the rule should not exist.
I'm with you on that. It
should not have to exist, but because it does, if you follow its parameters, you should get your comeuppance.
Yeah,
and just to not just to go that route and to be contrarian over a loophole or a technicality is like, well, what are we doing, NFL? No one would have gave a shit about titles and shit. That's some of that lawyer shit. Fans, keep it simple. Assistant general manager, general manager.
Even technicality.
Let me say this, man, because we're gonna get personal here in a second here, and then we're gonna get back to some Bears and talk a little bit more football. I'll say this about that. Whenever there's a monopoly like this and there's not much room for diversity, and diversity is not being enforced, and it's not the best people are getting hired for these jobs, because it's not. It's just not. I mean, whether it's from GM to president, who gets ownership in the league, when you have 32 people plus whatever Roger Goodell is, the commissioner, that has basically an iron bar set for this is who we allow into our club, and this is what we allow in our club. We're private ownership. You know, all kinds of things get fudgy in there. And the truth is there's no equality in there whatsoever. We love the game and we watch the game because we love it and watch it. It's just a sport I love. But trust me and believe me, out of this kind of ham-handedness, things that happen like that, comes equality. And I'm telling you, there's going to be another league at some point. And they've done a good job of ensuring that the NFL is the only. Don't look at me like that, kids. It's all, whenever you can't see something, doesn't mean it can't exist. I know what's happened in the past, but I'm telling you, out of this is going to come something different. You watch.
Again, you're ever the optimist, and I applaud you for it. I'm just saying, like, systems like this are in place for a reason, and they do what they can to ensure, the perpetuity of said system. Right, like there are other leagues, and those leagues would love to be in actual competition with the NFL. They won't be. This machine is too big. It has too much money baked into it to ever give up its spot, right? So
it's not about it giving up its spot. There will be something to compete with it. The United States, I'm telling you, coming out of what's happening right now currently, the ramifications of that is going to be so widespread that we can't even imagine how the shuffling of the shaking up of the chessboard is going to be so much different. I'm telling you right now, the way we look at other countries historically, people won't look at them the same anymore. And so whereas it might have been, okay, you can't, like say travel restrictions to Cuba or something like that, something very, very small. That won't be there. You'll have free travel, free trade with Cuba, and whatever comes out of Cuba and is developed in Cuba, we'll be able to enjoy some of the commerce going back and forth there. Part of countries in the Middle East that have had sanctions on them for years, namely Iran. I'm just talking in the political landscape, geopolitical landscape. Whatever that can be developed in that part of the world that could not be developed in the last 35, 45 years because of all those heavy-handed sanctions on them, it might be more money for players out of this part of the world, America, Canada, the Caribbean islands and Africa. All those players could see an opportunity over there. They want to develop a league over there, and we'll give you better pay. We'll give better diversity. We'll be very much more inclusive than this good old boys club, the NFL. That's what I mean by out of this can come another order.
Yeah, you went too far because
no, it's not too far. It's possible.
Again, art of the possible and optimism are two things, right? Like, again, I applaud you for it. It's just, if you do look geopolitically, there's no other place on the planet Earth that appreciates this sport that we love the way that we love it here. So right, like this, I'm telling you factual statements. The closest thing to the U.S. with regards to gridiron football would be Canada. The next thing there is like an NFL, semi-pro league in Europe, but it's not like it doesn't get any of the press or play or money that even the CFL gets. Like, you don't even really hear about that. Now, if you are looking again geopolitically, you have to immediately look at soccer. Right, like that is the sport of kings. That is the sport that
I know, kid.
You can roll out of bed and grab a ball and start playing at any given time.
You beat the dead horse. I'm just talking about. Just imagine this. Imagine this. Look at it this way. They decide that, Southeast Asia decides, along with the Middle Eastern countries, to develop a league, and part of the to lure some of the great players out of this league into that next league.
Who's going to watch?
Say someone. Everybody will watch it. Trust me, no matter where they play it at, they'll watch the game. And I think it's a big, huge picture, big, huge opportunity. Say, for instance, someone like Caleb Williams. and the lure to bring him over and to play in the Middle East, do you think he'd want to sign a contract? Now, even though this is not going to happen because Caleb Williams is going to be up for a contract in a year or two, but when it's time for a great player like that to get a contract offer, to renew his contract, let's just say this league over here in the Middle East is not only offering you a lot more money than this league in the United States is offering you. Now they're offering you stake and ownership. That's what people want. That's the lure. And so as it's not possible here as much, it could be very much possible somewhere else. I'm tired of the NFL, and the NFL needs competition, bro. Because
that's true.
But what's happening to us ain't right. But I'm not complaining about it. I can just see the good that can come from it.
No, and to that effect, I applaud you, and I say, you know, more power to that as a general idea. The unfortunate reality is that gridiron football, as popular as it is in North America, nobody else gives a shit. Like, you know what I mean? The few and far between in Europe, Asia.
Well, the places that the NFL are going internationally, you know, are places that the NFL is going. You know, not that they're developing their own American, you know, gridiron football, you know, leagues over there.
NFL is expanding, right? Like,
you know, NFL this is the NFL thing.
Yeah, it's about who they felt comfortable. This good old boys club that is the NFL, who they felt comfortable politically sending the brand. And it's only gone so far as Canada, it's gone so far as Europe, and it's gone so far as South America. It hasn't gone east.
It's in they do stuff in Europe.
And what I'm saying, like towards the Middle East, like in countries over there.
They don't care, is what I'm trying to explain.
I think that's, even though I know soccer is the biggest establishment across the world. I know that. Don't beat a dead horse. But to say that nobody gives a shit about it.
They don't.
Well, but I mean, over there, you also have look at the places that the NFL's going internationally. You know, where Madrid, Spain, over there in England and places in Germany. You know, they're going to places that already have stadiums that hold 100,000 people.
100,000 people.
They ain't got 100,000 fans going to shit over there over Far East.
Hey, Trips, I had a homeboy that went and stayed and he met somebody, you know, I think he might have been on a tour over there or something, or just on a vacation over there or something, but went over to Japan. And he said he's seen more Bears fans in Japan than he's seen in Colorado. I was like, really? In Japan? He said, man, the way they treat black people over there, it'll blow you away. It's like, I don't know, whatever happened with World War II and what happened with Pearl Harbor and that whole thing that went down over there, them having a bomb exploded on them. They don't care for white people over there very much, but they love black people over there. And they love football over there. From my understanding of it, I would have never guessed that. So that's why I'm telling you, kids, it's what you haven't experienced. That's the conundrum. What you don't know is what you don't know. What you hear about is what you hear about. You got to go through some places and see what people think about these things to really have a good understanding of it all.
I'm telling you, I've gone and I've seen.
You ain't been in no goddamn Japan?
No, I haven't been to Japan, but I can tell you that they don't play football in Japan. Like there's no league there.
It's not because they don't have a league there. It doesn't mean they don't enjoy the game.
No, obviously there's going to be general things for any Bears fan to understand, and part of the reason why I'm a Bears fan is the Chicago Bears are the face of the expansion of the NFL internationally. I don't give a shit what anybody else says. This started in '85. That entire campaign exploded. You know what I'm saying? It exploded on an international level. You know what I'm saying? That's why I love this team. That hit Japan. You know what I'm saying? That's how far that reaches. And this is why you would have Bears fans at all, like in every part of the neck of the woods on the planet. Like this is factual. mind you, if we're talking about just general sports fandom and the ability to actually post up a football league, like one of the major. So I had, being the fan that I am, I go to Amsterdam to do work. My team from Amsterdam comes here, right? They come here to Canada, and it's Monday night. It's Bears versus Cowboys. My boss at the time is actually a Cowboys fan, and we would go back and forth. And so I'm like, yo, let's go and watch the game together at a restaurant. We'll get some wings, we'll get some food, and we'll hang out. So we go and we hang out at this restaurant, and we're chopping it up. And me and I clearly understand football. My boss clearly understands football, but the other 8 people at the table, male, female, doesn't matter what, are like, so like, what are we doing here? I was like, well, we're watching a football game. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. So like, why are they kicking the ball here? What just happened? Ooh, is that a penalty? You know what I mean? These guys have no idea what they're watching or what's going on, because
It's not the same everywhere.
it's
kid.
not their stuff. It's not what
the same everywhere, man. The dude, all right, I'll give you a little description of my guy. The man's been married 3 times. Wait a minute, let me say. Yeah, 3 times. I think going on the 4th one. Every last one of them are Asian. Every last one of them. So the man loves Asia. He's been all over Asia. Yeah. His last place he was at before Japan was Vietnam. He said the exact same thing there. He said, dog, you'll be surprised. And I was. I would never, ever have guessed that far away from here, people get into the American football like that. I mean, so as much as you say about, it might be some parts of the world
There's
that
fans
are in the gray when it comes to American football, but to just think, broad brush the entire planet just because you don't see the game being promoted very much in these places. Don't think they're all just newbies to it, man.
No, I'm just saying the sheer number of newbies is astronomically larger than you think it is.
I'm interested.
You know what I mean? And let me
get that information from. Just
let me drill down to the reason why. And Paul actually nailed it in the chat. I'm gonna pull up what Paul says here. So Paul says it's too expensive to reach everywhere. You need pads, helmets, equipment, etc. It's a big reason why soccer and basketball are worldwide. You need a ball.
That's it.
You can basically improvise the rest of the sport, and that is really why soccer is as popular as it is. You roll out of bed, you got feet, you got a round thing, kick it into a hole, into a net, make up a net. You're playing soccer. Like inside, soccer is the easiest game to start playing without any additional equipment, really. Basketball is a close second. And this is where football and hockey, as a for instance, and even baseball to a certain degree, kind of fall flat. Right?
What you're trying to tell me is there's no way to import and export football.
No. The thing is, there's what it sounds like there's fans, but there's not any sort of a upswell or popularity,
bro. There's no
that is going to attract enough, to outdraw the $1 billion NFL. And if you look at some of that oil gas money, they ain't got that like that no more like that. You know what I'm saying? Because they spend it on other things or it's getting blown the fuck up. So, the resources necessary to compete with the NFL, because now remember, even though it's someplace across the globe, if an upstart league is going to do something, you don't think Goodell or his spies would be like, hey, upstart league is trying to do something. And they don't quash that, ASAP.
They do that right here in North America.
People get lured over to China all the time with big money playing basketball.
And then you never hear from them again.
And that happens today. And this is why I'm sort of saying
Unless
that,
they
like,
Dwight Howard, and they going over there for other reasons.
Again, I applaud your optimism here. Like, I know guys who not just coach guys who basically have come from the US under normal pretenses, played in NCAA, have found their way into the Canadian system because the US system didn't work out for them. Some of these guys wind up over in Europe coaching and training other players for really good money. It happens. You know what I mean? It's like it happens. The reality here is in Canada, and then I'll give you the same example in the US. In Canada for hockey, there is a machine. It's a machine. They crank out talent for this sport. Same thing for the US. The US is a machine, right? From Pop Warner all the way to the NFL. They crank out talent. It is literally built for it, built for that thing. Soccer there's a machine for soccer throughout the rest of the world. You would really have to find a spot that's willing to dedicate a machine.
You're talking about infrastructure from the ground.
Big time, bro. Like that infrastructure is ingrained.
What do I mean by infrastructure? I'm talking about starting them really, really young. You would have never guessed in the Congo. Multiple players that have lineage from the Congo playing NFL ball previously. Some of them now are banding together and starting those kids off real early in that part of Africa. You know what I mean? But it's happening in multiple parts of Africa. You know what I mean? So it's going on there. We're talking about the Samoan Islands, Hawaii. We're talking about everywhere, man. People are starting to, if they played some ball there, they take some of those resources and get some assistance from people with money, and they're starting to build those kids from the ground up in the game. And I'm just because I haven't heard of it happen as far east as China, that doesn't mean it's not happening. Just because we don't see it, just because we haven't heard of it happening in Qatar, somewhere like that, doesn't mean it's not happening in Qatar. So the game is being respected and watched everywhere. It's just about you, if you heard about it or not, if you know anything about that or not. But I'm telling you, this game is huge, man. This game is huge, and it can be played anywhere. Maybe more inside in places in other parts of the world than outside because it's so damn hot. But it can be imported and exported.
Yeah, well, like I say, I can't argue with that as again from an optimistic view. It can be. There's the other aspect of this, which Triple R just touched on a little bit, is just the fact that in North America, CFL exists. The NFL's done a great job to sort of kibosh that and make sure that it's small potatoes. The XFL exists. Same answer, same bat time, same bat channel. USFL has existed and has come back. See previous two answers, right? So the NFL does a great job at putting the kibosh to any potential competition. Much like the Fords of the world would do with the Teslas of the world. You don't really want competition, you want a monopoly, and the NFL has one. And I don't see them letting go of that anytime soon.
It's again, last thing I'll say before we have some personal conversations. It ain't about the NFL has they're not gonna let go of anything. They don't have to. No. All you need is resources to start something up and the lure to get people there, and you can start something. Whether they want to give some shit up or not, they're gonna give up some shit, whether they like it or not. So I want to see more. I want to see more people go about building it's like the Negro baseball leagues was a long time ago. I read a few books about that. It's when you're not being accepted, playing the game that you love to play on the highest level, people not treating you right. The options are always there to do your own shit and say fuck you. And so that's just where I'm at in this whole conversation about what the NFL has done towards the Bears and I know the Bears can't do much about it, but I want to see some more competition for the NFL. I'm sick of them and their bullshit, man. So that's that. We gotta move the rock a little bit because it's gonna take.
But you go along All Stars. That was a classic.
Man, the books are even better, bro. The books are even better. All right, so let's get personal, man. Trips, how's your week, man? Before we get started here.
Personal. Yeah, cool. Had some family for dinner. You know, nice catered Chef Trips meal.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? Got the hookup, your boy and such. So yeah, some family. And it's different, obviously, being of a certain age, there were those traditions. I remember being young enough to be like, yo, the Easter Bunny. You hooked me up this year? You bring me my favorite chocolates? Oh, yes, he did. Because it'd be the chocolate stuff with the peanut butter, like the Reese's, but like the big fancies, the big ones, the milk chocolate hollows. Yeah, that's my shit. And so, and then it was the Easter clothes, the new suit and the shoes, for those that had to have the Easter Sunday church thing, for that religious part of the extended family I was a part of. And so, the big Easter bonnets, go to church and see them on. It's a big fashion show, kids.
Hey, Trip, Jim Hunter is saying he got your email about the foot stuff.
What's that now?
That's it.
Yeah, I told you.
Jimmy, I nailed it too, man. It went right over his head, man.
Oh no, I don't think that was me sponsoring the foot stuff. I think I had seen some foot stuff.
Oh no, man! I
nailed that. You might have seen Sports Chicago style on it, but that don't mean it came from us. You know what I mean? But yeah, so I mean, then it was, you always had to go to Easter church, on Easter Sunday, and it was like one of the proudest days because in another part of the family, that was a holy day of obligation, for them Catholics and such. And so being different religions growing up, it was all, kind of a celebration thing, and is just the tradition of those things. But now it's just being happy, seeing family, church, bonnets or suits or whatever the fuck, whatever. So it's just about family and yeah. But it is a sign that spring is coming. So the pedicures and the nice toes coming out with the flip flops and the Birkenstocks and the little toe rings. And it's like, what kind of toes you got, girl? How they shaped? Is it cute? What your feet look like, girl? Stop.
Dog would be arrested somewhere where it's hot.
Oh man, too funny.
He'll get arrested, man, for something.
Jim Hunter, don't get him going, man. Keep it cool out there, Jimmy.
Hey, you know what?
He talking about oiled up toes. Where you want those toes to be stuck at, Jimmy?
Oh, damn! Whoa,
your kids. How was your week,
man? It was my week was pretty regular, man.
Nice transition.
We did our Thanksgiving thing minutes ago. I'm just coming in hot.
Easter.
Thanksgiving, right? Sorry. Thank you for Easter. Thank you. My bad. I'm coming.
See, Jim with the oiled up toes and the bum.
No, Jim was not invited to our family dinner, man. With them,
we got a Jedi mind trick. This motherfucker. Just keep talking.
With them feet, he was not invited. But we did it. We did it good. My niece and nephew getting big, man.
Patrick, might. What do you mean, might?
Might. Yeah, there's no might here. He does.
Slander, Patrick. Slander.
He does, Patrick. He do.
I will not have my good name driven through the mud.
He is proud of it. So, but we had a little new addition to the family. Little David Shiloh shout out. Big up to the little guy. You got to see the little guy. A little new addition.
Who baby is it?
My cousin Marsha's son. So she just had a baby a little while ago. And, he's doing all right, doing good. He's quiet, eyes open the whole time until he got a little food in him and he was eating. Then the itis kicked in, so he's already feeling it. He knows what's up. But yeah, I played a little bit of checkers. The wife beat me in checkers, which is like the first time I've lost a game of checkers in probably 35 years. I was very upset.
Hey kids, you I always like to be the first one in the family to get a little kid some fucking Pop Rocks. just to see the reaction on him. Do y'all got those?
He's 14 weeks old. I'm not putting no pop
I
rock.
I'd still get it.
He might blow up. And if he don't, his mama sure will. You know what I mean? She will definitely blow up all over.
You ever gave a little kid some Pop Rocks for the first time?
I don't like
You know what Pop Rocks are?
What do you mean? Yeah, come on
I
now.
mean, that's a thing here, but I don't
know I'm in Canada, but Jesus. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. I don't think my kids tasted Pop Rocks until they're probably I'm really trying to think, man. Until they're probably like 7 or 8 years old.
Oh, really? They waited that long?
Yeah, because we don't like we didn't give our kids much candy until like it's what's funny is we didn't until we went to the States. Like imagine that shit, y'all. But we went to the US. No, I'm lying to you. I did wind up going to the US, was actually the same trip. We went to Niagara. And on the Canadian side of Niagara Falls, there's a spot called Sugar Mountain. I don't know if y'all got Sugar Mountain in the US.
The hell is that?
It's just like it is what it sounds like. It's just a candy stove. You know what I mean? You name it, if it's got sugar in it, it's in the mountain. It's in the building. So we were walking, we were just messing around doing whatever was in Niagara. Niagara's just it's just a tourist spot. So we walked past Sugar Mountain. I was like, yo, like, what is this? Let's go in. So we went in, and like as we went in, I was like, oh snap, I have to buy some sour razzle because I haven't had razzle since I was like 3. These are the bombs. So I bought some sour razzle, and they got some Pop Rocks, and they enjoyed them and shit. But yeah, man, I love me some sour razzle. That's some badass gum, man. But anyways,
Pop Rocks is they still out there, man. You still buy you some
like my daughter had some today, like since you brought it up. Yeah, word.
That's crazy.
It was funny because we were playing the checkers I was telling you about, and one of the pieces was missing, just one, and then we were like, well, just find like anything and we'll substitute. And she's like, anything? I was like, yeah, like whatever you have in your pocket. So she reached in her pocket and pulled out a packet of Pop Rocks, and that was the extra. that was the missing checkers piece for. Anyways,
I absolutely loved them, man. There was this old story back when I was a little boy where they told a story about some little fat boy that used to do, some little fat white kid who used to do commercials and shit. He had some Pop Rocks and some Coke, and
he blew up.
Yeah, like, earlier did him in. That was an old
story as well.
Yeah, I don't know.
True, he's also alive, and it's not true in the least. He's fine. He's living. He's good.
But yeah, I had a rough end of the week, man. One of my well, let me tell you first. Had some vandalism and burglary going on at my stepdad and mom's crib. They was, how can I say this without telling too much? But they had someone they allowed to stay there that didn't have a place. But he was very useful, was very handy, man. Did a lot of stuff. My mother's.
I bet you he was handy.
Yeah. He basically rehabs houses, and he's doing a lot of the work over at my mom's new place that she just bought. So anyway, he's had some mental issues going on, and he went to jail, and he had to go to the hospital, and they probably prescribed him something, and he didn't continue to take his meds once he got out of there, and japped the F out. On top of it, he's drinking and doing dope. So it was bad, and let's just say he almost lost his life. The vandalism was so bad in 2 places that they have, the place that they stay at and the new place. It was weapons out, and it was bad. My mother called me crying, and she's like, we got to get him up out of there. And, it was me and a couple of my relatives, man, and it almost went bad for him. But luckily, he escaped out the back. It was rough, man, and he did a lot of damage. Good thing about it is they're gonna get a nice check for all the damage that he did. Now you got to remember, like the big house that they have just had major tornado damage to it. That thing is barely even, they can barely even live in that place. It's so bad. And so they have a what do you call it? Guy comes out and give estimates for you.
Appraiser.
Yeah, appraisal. And he hasn't really come out there yet. And now they got that on top of the vandalism and burglary going on. So they're gonna see a pretty substantial check, which is how I was able to kind of talk them down to earth, back to earth a little bit, because they lost a lot of personal things. You know, my stepdad has a, you know, AR-15 came up missing and all that kind of shit. But I think the police got that back. All kind of crazy shit happened, man. And I was just on edge I think it was either Thursday or Friday that happened. Man. And then the next day, one of my favorite cousins passed away, but you know, he's had a long illness. I'm lucky I was able to go kick it with him about 4 months ago, spend some time with him, but he passed away from, I forget what the name of his disease, but it was chronic. And they gave him like 6 months to live. And he finally succumbed to it. And so, you know, I'm a little tight, but I'm all right, y'all. I'm a little tight. The finality of it, you know, really ain't settled in yet. But he was one of my favorite cousins, bro.
Sorry to hear that. No, it's it's get together, grieve with the family, and just remember the good remembrances and such.
Hey, man, the good thing about what you just said is that's how I compartmentalize trips. Is I deal with grief that way. You know, instead of totally focused on the finality of what happened, I think about all the good, funny stuff. So me and my family, man, the guys in my family, we greet each other by talking bad to each other. We just bust balls all the time. We meet each other with jokes, cracks, insults. That's all we did, and then we get to having a good time. You know, that's how we roll. You know, he was a little shorter guy. I used to talk mad shit to him. I was just like, man, motherfucker, you need to take your ass home and clean out that sink you just took a bath in. And everybody would just fucking fall out laughing. You know what I mean? Just little jokes like that, you know, and he would laugh at himself. So he had a great sense of humor. So when you're a short guy, and it's just, I got a bevy of them kind of jokes, man. So, man, I'll remember that shit for the rest of my days, man. And I'll miss my cousin, man.
That's cool.
Sorry.
Like King is saying, you know, blessings to you and yours, Nomad. You know, it's you know, we're talking about, you know, fond remembrances of the childhood and growing up and stuff, and then you know, there's the finality part of, you know, life, which is the death. You know, sorry for the loss and all. But also I wanted to show, speaking of sharing, can you see that?
I can't. Look like
that's
like a half. What did you do this? Or what was this a chef?
Yeah, this is something that I ordered from over there with Chef Trips, and you can follow his channel over there at Chef Trips. But this is one of those maple glazed spiral hams. And you know, I ordered the whole ham, but we didn't eat the whole ham. You know, we're not, that's a lot of swine right there. But what the part that I did save, aside from the spiral part, was there's a bone in there that you can't see, but I put the bone and the back part of that hock with all that meat in the freezer. And so you know, I'll put this and like if I want to make some beans or, you know, a stew or something later, you know, I have that up in there. And so yeah, that's that. And then also we take that down right there, and then we go right here, which is right there. And then right there, we go right there. And then to go with that, you know, you got to have what you call where is it at? Up there it is. Now that's a macaroni and cheese up under there.
What's on the top?
That's a panko with melted butter and Parmesan.
Oh.
And then under there, under the bubbling up that you can see around there is the macaroni and cheese. I mean, you know, you got your sharp cheddar, you got your little Gouda, You got some pepper jack. You got a dollop of sour cream and like some cream cheese.
Damn.
And then with the seasonings and stuff, and then that toasted panko up on there. And so that was another part of the order. And then there was excuse me. I gotta hold on. Ooh, there we go. Sorry about that. Wrong button. And then you gotta have, a dessert, right? You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a little something sweet, so you gotta make you a little peach cobbler. And then you use those canned store-bought tomatoes and chef trips. He hooked it up. And so, you get the peaches up in there with the cobbler, if you will, extra juicy.
And by the way, y'all, everybody got pans that look like that. Shut up. Y'all do.
Hey man, you know how much flavor that pan got?
I still got a few of them.
You know what I mean?
That came down from that was Woody.
That was somebody's great grandmama pan for all I know.
It been in the family for generations.
You handing them down to your grandkids?
Because they just be under there under the sink.
Hey,
or,
dog.
Under where they at, and then it's like when somebody pass on or move out, you know what I'm saying? You just
you think I'm trying to say my pants look just like that?
Will.
You crazy? My pants look
Hey, dog. When I went off to college, dog, you'd be surprised what my mom pushed off on me. When I went off and got my own place for the first time, you'd be surprised what your mom gonna come up with. You need some dishes and shit, don't you?
Yeah, you got to eat. So you got to eat. You need to cook.
Man, will you turn that shit down?
Mm-hmm. And like these are some.
You ain't going to the store to go buy.
Hey, Tris, how many goddamn pictures you got now?
Well, that's dinner rolls. You got to have dinner
20
rolls.
years old or whatever it is.
This ain't Chef Trips, goddamn it.
All right, yeah, but we can keep going. I gotta remember how to do this here. But so it was cool. We ate and smoked and joked, had a good time. Just enjoying each other's company and such.
Yeah, man. That's I'm not the type that I ain't hungry today, man. We had a little bit to eat, not much, but I ain't one for. Like my family don't expect me to. I'm not one for family traditions much no more. No, you know what I mean. I'm just don't celebrate a lot of that stuff. I respect everybody that does, but not for me, man. Not for me, man. Not only is the food kind of rough for your health, but it's just not my bag, man. I just remember last thing before we start talking about some football. I hated Easter, man, as a kid, man, because that's like the only day of the year that you get new church clothes and shit. Only damn day of the year in my family. When you poor, man, that's the only day of the year you get some new shoes, you get a new suit, new tie, everything.
You get clothes?
Huh?
You were mad because you get clothes?
The clothes you don't like? Who the hell? What kid want to wear church clothes and shit?
I guess you're right.
Yeah, you did. You was a weird kid.
No, I feel you. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah,
I'd get mine for Christmas and it would piss me off. But I on the flip side, I'm getting like a transformer or whatever. You know what I mean? On the other side of things. So like, hey, yeah, I got a bullshit khaki outfit for Sundays. But you know what I mean? You're getting something that you actually like on the other side of it. It kind of cancels out.
You got to wear a full damn suit and got to take a whole lot of damn pictures. And you got to keep that hot ass suit on all day until your parents get satisfied they seen enough of your ass in it. Then they're gonna let you take it off.
Damn.
And don't you sweat? Don't you get a wrinkle? Don't you spill nothing? And don't you think about going outside and playing with it on?
Hell no.
As soon as your ass get in the house, you take that shit off and hang it up. Don't throw it on that floor, boy. Hang it up. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I took me 2 checks to get that goddamn suit, boy. You better shut your ass up.
Shit, just get out and lay away on Friday.
That's going in the closet by 2:30 on a Sunday.
You wear it one year, you'll never wear it again.
If it's on after 2:30, all bets are off.
You done grew out the motherfucker.
Like, try that suit on, and it's like it's flooding. You can see your ankles, you can see your wrists.
Your little brother get it and shit.
I'm giving y'all like an hour and a half, but depending on how long it take your family to get back from church. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll whoop your ass. But like I say, for me, that was always at Christmas. We didn't do that on Easter. Like on Easter, I'm wearing it, but we would usually get it. We would usually get it at Christmas. And the thing is, like, Daddy would make me put it on.
He know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
He
Shit,
done
layaway.
felt that heat.
Yeah, man. You know how long it took me to get that shit out of layaway? Yeah,
Shit,
man.
every time get that little money, put a little something on it. You know,
Man.
$5 here, $10 there. Come on.
You ever go with your daddy to the store or your mama to the store and put a little something down with her?
Yeah.
Mama, what you doing? You gotta put a little something down.
I couldn't stand them hot ass clothes, and you got to sit up real straight in church because grandma's somewhere around, your aunt somewhere around. You get the hell popped out you if you get a little too squirrely. Sit your ass still. Pop. Sit down, boy.
In 6 months.
I hated them clothes, man. I swear to God, I did. Excuse my language. But yeah, that's just me and my childhood trauma. Don't worry about that. A lot of black kids know how I'm feeling in a deep way. Trust me when I tell you. But y'all ready to get on some football, man? Let's get on some stuff. I'm gonna get kids fired up with some of these players I got here. And you and Trips. You might as well get your machine ready.
All right.
Let's go in hot on this one. Let's go in hot. This one I know you've seen some film on. And that is Mr. Le'Veon Moss out of Texas A&M. How about this, kids? Instead of me running my mouth at the very onset of this, tell me what you think of Le'Veon Moss based off what you've seen.
Okay. Hold on, kid. Excuse me. Before you go, kids, to give that breakdown, just let me break down the information for the people who may not be familiar. Le'Veon Moss is a running back from Texas A&M, 5'11", 203 pounds. He's categorized as a workhorse back and runs a 4.240. Go ahead, kids.
Yeah, all the stuff that he said. I mean, he's an all-around solid running back. I haven't seen too much with respect to pass pro. I'll have to keep my eyes a little bit more peeled for that. But he's a good all-around back, a little bit more north and south than, say, a DeAndre Swift. Just a little bit more north and south. And I kind of appreciate that because you're going to get those hard-fought yardage. But he has, he's got a decent cutback. He's got some spin moves. He's got kind of like most of what you need from a running back. I like him. I don't know what was that 40 time?
4.42 or so.
Yeah, like that sounds like about right. Like he's fast, but he's not extreme. Like I don't think he's got long speed. Fast, but like not so long.
Why did I let you do this breakdown? What the hell are you talking about?
I don't know if he's got the long.
He does have long speed, man.
I'm gonna. I don't know, man. But like, let me maybe rephrase. And when I say this, it doesn't come off on film as much because he's more north-south than he is an outside guy. So there's more people there to stop him. You're not going to get as much of a breakaway and just outrunning fools if you're going through them. So I'll do it that way.
By my count, I got him at about 210. And again, that's Trips could be right. I could be right. You get it different weights at different sites, wherever you're getting your information from. But dog, I think this is going to be an all-star on the next level. It's just a matter of time. Whether it happens in his first year, second year, third, whenever it happens, he's going to be a bell cow. Everybody's going to know my name type of running back. He's going to be that guy. Just telling you right now, wherever he gets drafted at, and many projections have him here, have him late in the draft, have him mid rounds, doesn't matter. I'm just here to tell you about the attributes. Strong north-south runner. Very, very good vision. And
good vision is what I was about to drop in there. The vision is key.
I just love, his instincts and vision. That's like the patience, instincts, and vision.
Yeah.
Setting up the blocks and accelerating when you see him, getting on your running track and going. You know, he is. I think he's got everything you want in a running back. Now he is a little bit better pass protected than you would think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't see much.
I've been forced to watch him for 2 years. He's a little bit better now. He gets like what I like about certain players like this is when you watch the more critical games, the games that have more notoriety, the games that have a little bit more meaning to them. Do your key guys that have the big, name behind them, have all that big swoosh behind them? Do they step up and make themselves known? You bet your ass he does. When you're down, let's just say you need to come back and you want to run the ball a little bit more to get you back in the game and establish your front line and kind of wear that defense down a little bit. He's that kind of running back that gets better with the carry that you give him. And at the same time, when you need to throw the ball, he's an equally good receiver. Le'Veon Moss is the complete package. Easily top 5 running backs in this class. Probably more like top 3.
I wouldn't go. I
would. I'm telling you, he is exceptional.
I wouldn't go top 3, but he's top 5. Yeah, for sure. And again, it depends what you're looking for, right? If you're looking for a north-south back, ain't it like you cannot go wrong with this particular player because of that vision that you put in, that you brought up, that field vision that he has. He will break it out to the outside if that's what if that's what the play requires, or if that's where if that's what's open on that particular run. But he has a great ability to counter and to just sort of weave his way through defenders, and it works. It works very well. I can see our team looking for something like that, but I do see what Scrolls is saying in the chat. He says he's similar to a certain Mr. Number 25 on the Chicago Bears, and I can't argue with that for a second. Kind of a similar, but a bigger, like a taller, higher center of gravity Kamanon guy. That's probably a strange but good comparison. And I have to say that I might. Man, this is wild to say. I might appreciate Kamanon guy a bit more because of that lower center of gravity and how hard it is to get him down. Not to say that it's easy to get Le'Veon Moss down. It's actually super hard because of how high his center of gravity is and how high his knees go. It's hard to get him down. So take that for what it's worth. If we really need a north-south runner, and I have to say, I kind of think we do, this guy would not be a bad move.
This guy is going to be a household name in 3 years.
I agree with that.
Hopefully, depending on where he goes, it might happen sooner than that. But I'm telling you, this is a super stud running back right here that they're just waiting to show what he can do on the next level. And the next level won't be any big jump for him whatsoever. Le'Veon Moss has got it all. It all in spades.
Yeah,
I tell you that much. And what they did at
man, I don't see a lot of pass catching down.
Let me say this real quick. What they run in at Texas A&M is a lot of, when you're talking about, you see a whole lot of north-south. It's because they run a lot of inside zone, which is what Ben Johnson is trying to get to more and more with Chicago. We did a lot of outside zone with Swift and the young guy, but they're trying to mix it up a little bit more and get a little bit higher percentage of inside zone, which is, the less you have to move your offensive line, the more effective they can be. And so inside zone ain't that much different. It's just you're using a little bit more. I don't even know how to describe it, but it's not much different from outside zone. Just the running lane is kind of more A and B gap instead of C gap kind of runs outside the edge of the tackle, more inside between the center and the guard. And so that's exactly what we're trying to do, more and more of that. As the season went on, I seen Ben Johnson implement a little bit more and more of that, especially as DeAndre Swift started really getting it going. He did more and more of it. But that's why I think he fits us very well in what we do.
I'm gonna ask you a question now. what are your thoughts on DeAndre Swift as an inside zone runner?
He's you got to remember inside zone. The difference between an inside zone run and a gap power run is the gap guy is going to be somebody that pulls. The guy that's going to come from one side or the other is going to go open up a lane for the running back. That's what he came from in Georgia. He excels running on the interior part of the offensive line. That's what DeAndre Swift does. I know he's known as this quick, fast, juke guy. Get me on the outside and I'm going to outrun everybody, but he did most of his damage from the inside in college and in the league. And so I think he's a bad boy from the inside. I think he's underrated.
I'm going to take your words on this. I haven't seen enough personally inside zone gap scheme from him in Chicago. I'm not going to talk about college or Philadelphia, etc.
They ran a lot of it, kids. You probably just didn't know it.
A lot of attempts. I'm not so sure how successful they were.
A lot of his better runs came from inside zone.
I don't know about that one. I find a lot of his better runs were outside the tackle. I find a lot of Monangai's runs were inside and we're better off for that.
Y'all keep the comments coming in the chat. I'm just keeping the screen clean so we can do better shorts. That's all.
Yeah,
we reading them.
I like Le'Veon Moss. All in all, I think he would be a fine addition to this particular team. I think if you're losing a Roschon Johnson, you could not go wrong with this guy as a replacement.
All right, let's get any thoughts here, Trish, before we move to the next guy.
No, we can keep going.
All right, let's get to and y'all hang around, man. We're gonna Trips and Kids gonna let you guys do some draft stuff here. We get through getting through these players here, but let's talk about another guy. We're talking about our defensive line. This is Albert Regis out of Texas A&M. He's about 6'1", about 317. Texas A&M has such stud football players on that team. I'm talking about on the offense and the defense. That a lot of really good players that do yeoman's work really don't get the credit that they deserve. And Albert Regis is probably going to be primarily a nose guard, 0 tech, 1 tech, that kind of guy, because he's a good run stopper, good run plugger, takes on double teams very, very well, plays through it. And here's the thing. At Texas A&M, they 2-gap in a 3-4 set. And so what a 2-gap defensive tackle has to do is maintain 2 gaps. They don't very much ask them to get up the field and get vertical. When they do, that's when you can see some of his extra attributes come to life. Albert Regis has got great hands. He's got a quick, powerful burst, can get upfield, and he's powerful. And so he's got an upside, a sleeper upside in his pass rushing ability from the interior. And just because they run that 2-gap style, they don't ask him to do that at a high percentage. And so what would be different in Chicago, that's exactly what we'd be asking him to do. Get vertical. Get vertical as quick as you can. We're not going to ask him to maintain gaps and gap integrity for 2 holes. No. And so to me, a defensive tackle coming into the NFL to a 4-3 team, he's going to get undervalued. He's going to get undervalued, and people won't see his tape as something that's like, man, he ain't really bringing nothing to the table. That's because you probably don't understand what he's doing and what they're asking him to do versus what his attributes can add as somebody that's being asked to get up the field and get vertical. I can see it there. He's a short, kind of run pluggish guy that's going to be very beneficial he's probably going to be, if I had to guess, late rounds, maybe after the draft, but this is going to be a nice piece with somebody. Albert Regis can bring it. And he's just that right size. He's just the kind of Dennis Allen type of low to the ground, low center of gravity, quick off the ball, can get upfield pretty quick when asked to. They're looking for speed and quickness and burst. And he brings that to the table. Very strong sleeper here, right? You got right here, guys. Albert Regis, you guys should check out this tape.
Just watched a bunch of it. I don't mind this guy. at defensive tackle. He sheds blocks and gets vertical. That's kind of what they're going to ask him to do. Like, you kind of nailed this one, actually, Nomad. This is a very, very interesting. Let me look at where he kind of sits in the grand scheme of things. This is an interesting look. I don't know what his statistics look like or anything to that effect, but if you go watch this guy's tape, yeah, he'll hold down 1 or 2 blocks depending on what's required. A lot of the time he'll split them and get vertical.
Mm-hmm.
But his and like I'm talking pass rush right now, his prowess in the run game is unquestioned. Right? Like it's unquestioned. He's in block. He's always got his eyes in the backfield looking for where that running back is. And if the running back's anywhere near his person, he's gonna make a move on the player, and he gets him. He gonna get you.
As much as the film you like there watching, the tape you're looking at, just imagine that every single play they're going to be asking him to get upfield and go through double teams and split them. And yeah, some of those reps you're probably looking at some highlights. Some of those reps are probably him trying to maintain 2 gaps, and that's not necessarily what they'll be asking him to do here. And so, like 50% of what you're looking at on tape is going to be 50% better, because the good shit that you're seeing is them telling him, "I need you to get vertical." And he's doing it quickly and powerfully, getting off blocks and getting right on upfield, isn't he?
He is, and you're saying that he's going to be running one-on-one 90% of the time.
Mm-hmm. Until he gets good enough where he forces the double team.
Well,
he doesn't look does he look 317 to you in this picture?
Yeah. Like he's a lean 317. I know what you're trying to say.
That's a great way to say that. That's a great point. He's a lean 317. Because usually shorter guys, like just around 6 foot, over 300 pounds, you see the pudge and it's real strong from the waist down, and it's kind of trim here. And you can see that on film too. He's got a nice lower base to him now. Got some bottom on him. Got a little bottom on him, but man, he wears it well. Albert Regis is a sleeper here, but he's just the right size for everything I've really ever seen out of Dennis Allen's defensive front. Low to the ground, quick off the ball, great block shedder, can get upfield when asked, and has a little upside as a pass rusher from the interior, and can handle a double team with no problem. Those are the basic requirements.
Holy shit. Man, I don't know about this one. This one's pretty crazy. This is a good sleeper, bro. This is a good sleeper selection.
Look at Patrick Higgins coming in with hot. He says a 4.88 40.
This is what I'm looking at, Patrick Higgins. I'm looking at some of his measurables. 4.88 40-yard dash, 34-inch vertical jump, 9.9 foot 8 inches broad jump.
He's an athlete.
He's jumping out the building. Like my only beef. Oh snap! 27.
I had some DBs that couldn't jump 34 inches in a vertical when I was in college.
And you're talking DBs at what, like 185?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 27 reps on the bench.
Man, it's powerful as shit. Power, and it's all coming from the lower body.
27 reps on the bench. He'll do that too. He'll do the upper body too. So this is kind of a wild. My only little beef, and it's a minuscule beef, is just height translates to arm length. Arm length is just around 32. Is what it is. I don't think that's super short considering. Man, this is an interesting. He's listed. He shows up around selection 247. So we're talking a 7th rounder at best. I think this guy would be a fantastic selection as a late rounder. Fantastic selection.
Telling you, man, there's some sleepers out here.
This is a sleeper that you could pull in and actually put to work because I think he had on tape he comes off very Grady Jarrett-ish, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a young Grady Jarrett. Take it for what it's worth. I think you know,
Hey,
hey man.
remind me of Spice Adams a little bit.
Oh, okay. I think Spice is a bit taller. No,
No, I think he's
About
taller.
6'1".
6'1" Spice. Okay.
I think he's taller than Spice. I think,
You think so?
if Spice Adams is 6'1", he's standing on 3 books.
All right.
Like encyclopedia.
That's cold blooded, but all right, okay.
But man, this dude is a true sleeper. Check out Albert Regis out of Texas A&M, 6'1", 317 pounds, wears it well. All power due to just power personified in the lower body, man. You got that. I mean, that's where it's at when it comes to defensive tackle. And he's going to be playing most of his reps as nose guard. You need a lot of power in that bottom, and he's got it.
Talent like that late in the draft is crazy town.
Yeah, that's where we at with it. Y'all ready for another guy trips? You got any thoughts?
No, good. Let's keep moving.
You want to know another sleeper?
Patrick, we don't shut up about Albert Regis. You know what I mean? Keep it quiet.
This is edge rusher George Gums out of Florida. Again, now when you go looking at his stuff, just remember they're playing a 3-4, not a 4-3. And so a lot of his reps, the first thing you might notice about George Gums is he never really has his hands in the dirt. That's primarily what edge rushers / linebackers do in a 3-4. I feel like a broken record every time I say this, but it needs to be pointed out all the time that what he is and what he can bring to the table, he is, let me see, George Gums is 6'4", 250. And some might ask, hey, Nomad, he's a little light. They're looking for a bigger guy. Look at the 250 on him. Look at him. That's all flesh, homeboy. Ain't no fat there. Ain't no fat. Trips asked me how much Montez Sweat weighed when he came out of college.
How much did Montez Sweat when he came out of college?
About 245.
Shut your mouth.
Mm-hmm. Look what he ended up being. At least in 2018, the last time I really seen Montez Sweat tape, I know for a fact he was about 245 at 6'5", 6'6". Exact same. He's got like 5 pounds on Montez Sweat. And moves very fluently, very good athlete, and very much like Montez Sweat. Absolutely ripped from top to bottom, no body fat on him really whatsoever. Quick as lightning, good bend on him. He's gonna have to work a little bit to get better with his pass rushing array. He's got 1 or 2 good things that he does, and that's good. That's good going into the NFL. 1 or 2 moves, a move and a counter. And so George Gums is a true sleeper and more powerful at 250 than 250 might suggest. Better edge setter than he is a pass rusher at this point. But he's not the only edge rusher in this draft. There's people talking about a lot of edge rushers in this draft. Some of the more highly touted edge rushers don't have a big time pass rush array. They're great edge setters. And that's what George Gums is and can be a whole lot more. This guy is a real sleeper, man. He played in a talent pool at Florida that's out this world. They have some stud football players on that team. Top to bottom. Top to bottom. Their record may not reflect it, but he played amongst some real studs, man. And he still stuck out. Every time I'm getting on Florida Gators film and watching reps looking to see what stands out, 34 is always popping off the screen. And ain't no damn body talking about George Gums Jr. Wherever he's drafted, if he's drafted, somebody's going to get a steal. This guy's absolutely ripped at 250 pounds. Look at this guy's physique, man. Look what you can add to that. What you seeing, kids? He's got pretty long arms. I don't know his arm length.
Well, Levante found his arm length is 33.63.
Yeah, and by the way, Cornelius is right. He is a hometown guy. He's from Chicago.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 6'4", 245, 9-inch hands, jumps a 441 vertical, crazy.
That's
10.1 broad jump, crazy. 4.66 40. He's raw. Like
really?
he sets the edge very well, but he's a bit of a raw talent. I think he would require a little bit of development in the NFL. He's fast though. You know what I mean? Like I can't.
Very. I think he ran like a 4.6.
Yeah, 4.66 is what he put down. He's fast and he has burst when you see it. I don't see a lot of bend. I do see he's got a nice like a Euro step swim. Oh, there's some bend right there. Okay,
a little bit.
He's got a little bit of bend. He's got like a Euro step swim move that he does. He likes to do, and it works. That's getting him past.
He's going to be living off of power.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
In the NFL,
you coming out at 250, made like this. His power is gonna his power. Like I said, Montez Sweat came out at 245.
You know what? Okay, I can dig it. Okay, there's actually a bunch of snaps of him just powering the tackle back and making the play, right? Like there is a lot of evidence of that now that you say it.
When the coaches, I've heard coaches tell players, and this is very normal in the midst of any game, depending on how many reps you're taking. If you on the field with extended reps and you're starting to get a little winded, that's when the coaches tell you, man, when you start to feel a little bit fatigued and you're panting a little heavy, go for what you know. Just go through somebody. Don't spend no whole bunch of time trying to, work technique and all that. Just run right through his ass and get to the quarterback, straight line to the ball. That's what they tell you. And I keep seeing that with him on his reps, man. He's out there a little bit more than some other players can be because he's such a physical specimen. And another thing that really sticks out about George Gums, it's going to stick out to Bears scouts and personnel, is he's all motor, bro. His effort is overwhelming. He never stops, man. It's consistent. Down in, down out, no matter how many reps he takes, he is all motor.
Yep. You can that comes off on film as well. I don't know, man. Like I just a little raw for me is really all it is. He has all the measurables and intangibles, to be frank with you. He's got the length, the height, the speed, broad jump. Like he's got all the measurables and intangibles.
Everything he just said, kid. You know who else was being said about before he came into the league?
Montez Sweat?
No, Austin Booker. Same exact thing kids are saying right now. I remember it like yesterday. Same stuff.
And and then they're saying he was raw as well.
Yep.
It's funny that we're seeing if that is the case.
He was raw.
No, he is raw. But the thing about Booker that the thing about Booker is he has created a bag of tricks. He came into the NFL with question marks, immediately started to work on his craft, and by game 4, you could see him not only feel comfortable with the tools that he had in the bag, but start to put new tools in. Now he got a drill and a damn, you know what I mean, a screwdriver, and he's growing, and you could see that very quickly. Not to say that this guy doesn't have that or wouldn't be able to pull, really expand and grow. That's just all I'm saying is I think he's a developmental talent that could really grow into a premier pass rusher in the NFL.
Well, that's the question though, kids. If you are Dennis Allen or a defensive line coach Garrett, are you looking for a prospect like Gums who who has all the physical traits and the mentality that you want, but needs to be developed. And so now he can be developed in their mold, so to speak, where they can get their hands on him while he's still, impressionable and develop him, as opposed to getting, another player or older guy who's already who he is.
I don't know. At the edge position, I don't know what you want. And what I'm finding in this as we continue to go through these players, what I'm finding, especially after the last little look, and I will refuse to say his name because I really appreciated that sleeper that you put that you just identified. That kid has stuff. I'm just saying that the defensive tackle, the defensive tackles in this year's draft, it's deep. It's a deep draft at the DT position. I think also the talent at the top, at the upper end of the edge in this draft, they can come to the table prepared to eat food. And that's where we get into a George Gums Jr., right? I think George Gums needs a little time before he's able to have that meal.
I agree with
Meal
that.
Quarterback. And that you agree?
I agree with that. I do think he can produce right away. I don't think at a high level because he needs some carving and some chipping and some chiseling, which is what majority of, let's just say, all the college edge rushers coming out that didn't have Jason Taylor as their edge rushing coach. That means if you ain't Ruben Bain or Akeem Mesidor, you're gonna need a whole lot more chiseling and chipping.
I think there's a couple more.
Well, but it goes into that also, kids, is Patrick is saying in the chat, yeah, Gums played at Simeon, Southside Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But also Paul is saying that Gums began his college career in Northern Illinois as a tight end.
He's an athlete.
So
man.
his defensive prowess and moves and acumen is still in development because he didn't come up as a defensive player. He was a tight end.
He's a real baller clay kids is what he is.
So have we heard that story before?
What was that? You talking about Don Rob?
You know exactly who I'm talking about.
Oh no. That's different.
Oh, of course it's different.
He's further ahead than Don Rob.
Of course it's different. Look, he is definitely further ahead than Don Rob. He has that same general athleticism. But again, he's got a couple of tricks in his bag that Dom Rob is yet to exhibit, right? Like I'll just put it that way.
So he's ahead of Dom Rob.
So Dom Rob, another thing about Dom Rob, and I hate to use this as a nailing point, but it's a nailing point. Dom Rob played at Miami of Ohio, and he had a steep jumping competition. And when I say steep, it was steep for a guy who was just learning the position, only played it 2 years. To jump right to the NFL from Miami of Ohio compared to George Gums that's playing against NFL level talent every week. That's a huge difference. That's why it's not the same kind of comparison. I get where you're going, but not the same.
I'm just saying I'm just saying that if you're switching positions, it's going to take you a little while to get acclimated to the position. It took Dominic Robinson a fair amount of time, and I'll be honest with you, he had a great season this season, and I said it earlier on. He's going to have a stellar season this season. He's going to. You just mark my words and watch it.
Let me ask you a question, kid. Do you think it's a big jump for somebody that played will linebacker in college and then goes into the NFL and gets asked to play Mike linebacker?
Yes.
Why do you think so?
Because of football IQ. Like, I mean, it sounds like that's a really good question, right? Like, it sounds simple. You're a linebacker. You're just moving to the middle. You know what I mean? You're moving to the middle.
You think that he's capable if he hasn't done it before? You think he's capable of doing it?
Oh, I don't know. So, like, the answer might be absolutely, and he might excel at it. the answer also might be maybe he's just not that cerebral, and he's more of a heat-seeking missile. And you know what I mean? Go point, go tackle, right? Like there's
Same can be said from somebody transitioning from a tight end to a defensive
of
end.
course, brother.
You know,
And it's not even I'm not even sure if it's a cerebral thing. Like there's
not
definitely
at all. Not
you
at
know,
all. It's a different skill set.
it is a different skill set, and you have to understand what you're trying to do and be able to exact that skill set. And it's in order to do that skill, it may take different, because every week you're up against a different talent, and it may require a different method, you know, to circumnavigate that talent on the edge that you're up against. You might have to bull rush this guy 6 times out of 10. You might have to ghost rush him because he's, you know what I mean? You might have to Euro step swim this guy. You might have to spin move him. You have to have all that type of stuff in your repertoire to be able to pull it off on a consistent basis again and again against different talent week on week, right?
Now, I'll tell you another little thing that might be a little bit ambiguous about what George Gums can bring to the table. And it's not a downside. This is just something to point out. Because he took so many reps and because he's so athletic, they lined him up as far as they could, kind of away from the line of scrimmage.
Outside to come around with speed.
Off and then in a 2-point stance. So he's not really putting fingers in the dirt.
He's straight up. Yeah.
So he's getting a couple feet running start at all times versus you in close quarters, line in the dirt. Fingers in the dirt close to the tackle, and contact is going to happen relatively quickly. And so that's going to be something that I think when you talk about his move to the NFL and him adjusting to a team like this that's asking him to do what he's going to be asked to do here, to me, that would be, in my opinion, his biggest jump. That right there, playing in close quarters, having to get off the ball and having immediate contact and work through that contact, work off of those blocks, shedding those blocks and getting to where he needs to get to that point, whether it's setting the edge or whether it's, chasing the quarterback, whatever they're asking him to do. To me, that's the biggest jump from a 3-4 edge rusher that's really never lining up on the line of scrimmage. That's going to be his biggest jump. That's going to be his biggest conundrum, bro.
I can dig it. You know what I mean? This is a good talent. You know, I don't know what the Bears really do here. Cornelius Squall just kind of blew my mind a little bit by suggesting that because these positions are a little bit deeper than one might have expected. The Bears have a luxury selection in the middle on a wide receiver or running back or a place of a position of interest on the offensive side as opposed to really spending this entire draft up front on the defensive side. I personally, since we've gone through a couple of these names and these positions, I really like what we found in Nadame Tucker last week. I loved that film, and I really liked what we found today. Caleb Proctor is another late round guy that would really fit the bill. So I think the Bears can be very specific in what they want to do. Perhaps they go in early, get themselves an early edge, an early safety, and then get funky with it because they can find another edge later in the draft, and they can find another DT later in the draft.
You want to talk safety or DB?
Let's do that.
Here's a DB / safety that pretty much everybody knows about at this point. This is Keontae Scott, DB out of Miami. Now, let me just get right on it. He played majority nickel corner at Miami. People might want to know, okay, Nomad, what the hell?
Yeah.
He's going to get drafted pretty high. No doubt about it, he's going to get drafted pretty high. He's physical, he's fast, he's quick. He excels at slot corner. the thing people want to know about Keontae Scott, and it's a lot of teams that have safety needs like us. Can he transition to safety? You know, anybody that's playing slot corner, it's an easy transition to at least strong safety at the minimum. Free safety, that's another conversation. He plays in the box like a pack of fireworks, man. He belongs in the box. Now, can he play free safety? I don't see the reps that for me that can qualify that on film. But physically, what I see with his physicality, his technique, yeah, he can translate to free safety. He can play any place in the defensive backfield. That's what kind of athlete Keontae Scott is. And so ask me that question, I'd tell you, hell yeah. And so what makes him interesting for me? And this is just one of the conversations that I see floating around. Will the Bears move up? And if the Bears moved up, what kind of players would they move up and get?
Move up.
Let me finish this. Or if this guy fell back into the draft and landed in a spot where we could pick him, is he high on their draft boards? I'd say absolutely yes. And would he be their first selection at the first two spots? I don't know. But I'm pretty sure he's up there pretty high. However, a guy like this challenges the theory that a lot of people have been asking for the last couple of years. Can Kyler play safety? I definitely think he can play box safety. And
you'd move Kyler Gordon, is what you're saying?
I'd move Kyler if I felt need to do that. I'd do that in a heartbeat and let Keontae take the role of nickel corner.
Damn.
Or I'd play Keontae. Either one, I'd be happy to drop either one of those guys. I'll drop that responsibility on either one of those two guys, and I know I'm putting in capable hands. Keontae Scott's a dog, man. And when you're talking about defensive backfield, this guy's ability isn't limited to slot corner at all. He's about 6. Let me see. Let me make sure. He's 6 foot 192, somewhere right around Kyler's size. Maybe a little taller. But the guy can play, man. This guy is ferocious, man. Great run supporter, great in coverage, great in zone concepts, great in man concepts. Excels when the game is more important. You're going to see him more and more when the game is on the line, when you got meaningful games. Great temperament. Great big playability. He's got it all. And he's not limited as just a nickel corner. Any scout watching Keontae Scott's tape that limits him to just a slot corner doesn't deserve his job. You got to look outside the box with him because he's that good of an athlete.
I'm looking at it now.
You're right. Goes
let's
deep.
Just not do this.
It's easy transition for athletes, man.
Let's not do this.
Let's not do what?
Let's not do what we're doing here, which is like he's good, man. He's a really good nickel. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a good nickel. Put him on the blitz. He's a sound and surefire tackler. He's a real good nickel. I don't know. You're saying that can translate to safety.
Absolutely.
I believe that it can. I'm yet to see, I'm yet to see evidence of this, much like you're saying. I'm yet to see evidence.
Look at
other safeties do both.
He's faster than Kyler.
As quick as Kyler.
I can't
remember
he is faster than Kyler, bro. He is. I tell you that.
I can't say
the versatility.
I'm telling you, he's faster than Kyler, kids. Trust me.
Okay, I'm not.
Kyler doesn't have great long speed, bro.
I'm not willing to say that
does.
Kyler might maybe Kyler doesn't have that. What Kyler has more so than just about anybody else is twitch. Like Kyler Gordon is one of the twitchiest athletes I've ever seen. That being the case, I ain't taking nothing away from this kid in the nickel position now. Now, don't get me wrong. He's a super solid nickel, and that would put us in the. And then what I'm saying is, like, let's not have this conversation, is because that puts us in a precarious spot. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, so now we've got two amazing nickels. Do we really want to mess with either one?
Yes.
Man. Yes.
Yeah, man. Look, man, you thinking too much.
I
Number
don't.
one,
No,
take it
I'm
from,
not. I'm
Well,
not.
you're forgetting,
take
kids.
it from the
Versatility, kids.
take it.
Versatility.
But we don't. But hold on now. We're the versatility is
you take it from the DB on the set, man.
no. I hear the DB on the set, and I'm watching what you're putting down, and this kid's super good. I'm not saying he ain't. I'm saying that now you have to imagine versatility here. You got to hope that one of these guys translates in the other position, and I hate to have to do that. And that's what I'm saying. Let's not have this conversation, because, like, if this is what goes down, cool. They've got to imagine that one of these guys is going to transition into the other position and excel at it. And I hope that works out.
Or one of them goes out to boundary.
If we needed a nickel this season, like needed a nickel, yo, this kid is good.
Dog, we needed a nickel this year.
In backup capacity, you're right, and maybe they decide to do that. But I like this guy. I wouldn't want to put this kid on a bench, though. You know what I mean?
He would not be on the bench if he is drafted as a Chicago Bear. He's going to start somewhere.
He would have to. Like, he's that. Like, this is what I'm saying, and I'm in full agreement with you. This kid is a.
Well, here's the thing, kids.
He's
When
like
I say versatility, is all right. You line up. Who are the starting cornerbacks, kids, on the Bears coming up?
So very likely Tariq Stevenson right now, and Kyler Gordon and Double J.
All right, so you just hypothetically you bring in a Keontae Scott. All right, so he's not starting among those three, but he can play, from what I'm hearing, boundary corner in a press man fashion that Dennis Allen and Al Harris like. As well as, if the offense shifts or brings in personnel, you can keep him in there and he can play nickel. And then Kyler can play corner. And then, so they have that versatility that they're trying to develop to be able to have the coverage guys inside and out and increase the speed.
Man, y'all, like, I don't want them to do this at all, but it's what you're saying.
Why not?
I have my little biases, but at the same time, it is an interesting conversation to have. So, what Tripp just did now is he kind of opened it up a little bit, and maybe that safety is Tariq Stevenson. Maybe it's Terrell Smith. You know what I mean? Maybe they look at some of these other guys and they then put, as opposed to. Like the homies, the whole Keontae's running 4-3-2. If that's the case, you can put him on the outside, and he'll be on these receivers like glue. That's crazy.
Anthony Wilson just asked the question. He says, "How does he compare to Stukes from Arizona? As he's projected to be safety as well." The only difference between him and Stukes is he weighs more, and he probably projects better physically for safety than
is he a true safety though, Stukes?
No,
Stukes
he's playing mostly slot corner too.
Trey and Stukes.
He plays mostly slot corner too. We did him 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same player, but just bigger. Stukes is just bigger, 6'2", to about 217, 212, somewhere in that neighborhood. But
three
absolute elite athletes. We're talking about 2 elite athletes. I'd say Stukes is probably going to have a quicker transition in the NFL than Keontae Scott, just because I'm not sure. I don't think Keontae Scott can play. I think he can play it, but it might take him a little bit longer to get used to it. Boundary corner. I know Stukes can play boundary corner right away. I know he can play slot corner because he's playing it now. I know he can play safety. That's the only thing about Keontae Scott. I wouldn't ask him to play boundary corner unless I needed him to play boundary corner because I haven't seen those reps. Stooks, I've seen those reps.
So I'm just going to layer it with this. So Tre'Davious Stooks is speculated second round pick 50-ish. Keontae Scott is the next corner on the board. So that's around selection 60-ish. Not impossible for the Bears to get access to either and or one of these two players. This is going to take one of those second rounders that you have. Maybe.
What's number 32's name that plays for Detroit? The slot corner. What's his name? The slot corner. I can't think of his name right off the top of my head, but there was a lot of questions on him coming out, similar to Keontae Scott.
Terrion Arnold?
No. Terrion Arnold was a boundary corner. This guy plays slot. Somebody help me in the chat. Number 32. He's a pit bull, man.
You got me.
There we go. It's Branch.
Oh, Deion Branch.
No, it's not Dion. It's
Dion?
It's another name. But anyway, Branch, I saw him at Alabama, and I was just like, this dude can play either slot corner or safety and be a monster. And they settled on slot corner for him. I think they're seeing the same player. I think he's even faster than Branch. Brian Branch, thank you. Brian Branch, same kind of player, same tenacity. I think this guy is, I think for our needs, let's just say for our needs, I think, just to be honest with you, I think him playing slot corner would be better. Even though Kyler has got more experience in the NFL.
Let me ask you some real questions now. Just, again, considering where they are. Safety position in question, given who we've selected already. Tre'Davious Stooks, Keontae Scott versus AJ Halsey, Emmanuel McNeil Warren, Kamari Ramsey, Jalen Kilgore, Bud Clark.
I'd take Stooks over all of them.
Really?
I would.
Wild.
No, it ain't. He's got it. No, it ain't. All you got to do is see a certain something.
Okay.
You see a certain something on film, you're oh yeah. Keontae Scott is a box player, I think. And that's the only difference between him, what they can bring to the table, and Stooks. I think Stooks can go to the outside and give it to you too. He can go out there and play on the boundary. You don't see those reps from Keontae Scott. Now, if I seen Keontae Scott go out there and excel and execute well as a boundary corner, I'd say Keontae Scott. But I didn't see that. I've seen it from Stooks. But yeah, man, that's Keontae Scott. Either way, he's high on the Bears draft board. You can bet your mama's old.
He should be high on anybody's board. Like is what I'm trying to say. He should be high on anybody's board.
Bet granny's old dishes on that shit. He's high on the draft board in Chicago. Trust me on that. And if he F's around and lands, if he falls somewhere, we might have a conundrum on our hands between a pure safety and this football player. Is what he is. He's neither a corner or a safety. He's both. So that's what he's bringing to the table. Now let's get to a couple of edge rushers. And one of the edge rushers a lot of people are talking about. We've said a few things about here and there, but we haven't given an official breakdown on this guy. We're going to end up with the last two edge rushers. This is Zion Young. Who's seen film on Zion Young, and what do you think? Zion Young is 6'5", about 265 right now, coming out of Mizzou. Big kid. Big kid.
He's what? What are the measurables?
He's 6'5", 265. Now, let me give you a quick summary on Zion Young. Zion Young is also very raw, but definitely fits the size, the measurables requirement here in Chicago. Very, very good at setting the edge. Great in the run defense. He's going to be a monster right away doing that. He can get better at that, but he is really, really good at setting the edge. That power is to be reckoned with. As a excuse me, as a pass rusher, he has got some upside there. He is not going to come into the NFL and work somebody over with pass rushing skill set. Period. He's just not. But that doesn't take away from what Zion Young can bring to the table. I say this all the time, and I mean it. Every college player that comes into the league is not a finished product. Zion Young is going to get drafted relatively early, maybe mid to late first round, or maybe even in the second round. But he's going to go pretty early. And projected to the Chicago Bears by a lot of people. In fact, I believe he's been on the Bears top 30 visit list. And so the next two players I'm going to be talking about have been on a top 30 visit. This guy is, I think about Montez Sweat as well. He's already about 20 pounds bigger than Montez Sweat was when he came out of college already. He's just less chiseled than Montez Sweat was. He's carrying a little bit more body fat than Montez Sweat. And I don't want to say that in a derogatory way, like he's a fat kid. No, he's not fat. He's just carrying a little bit extra weight than, say, a Montez Sweat was coming out of school. Kind of the exact height. And Montez Sweat had much longer arms. But this kid is, let me just say, with all the hooping and hollering about this kid, Zion Young, I see a project. I see a project. This is not a plug and play, get high end production, defensive end coming out of the draft kind of football player. He's got some, if you're looking for a dominant pass rusher, Zion Young ain't that. I'm just talking about the people that monitor this draft talk and all that kind of stuff. He's not that. But he's going to be good. He's going to be good. It's just going to take him a time to polish and hone those pass rushing skills for him to get the kind of numbers that's going to wow people. But he's going to be dominant right away in stopping in the run defense and setting the edge. He's going to be dominant right away because of his power.
You nailed this one too. He's not what you think he is, right? He's like he will rush the passer, but it's different. It's not what you think. So I've been talking a lot about tricks in a bag and what you bring to the table. He brings something quite different to the table. He'll set the edge. He will power you down because he's got that size and power. When it comes to pass rush, I'm yet to really see any kind of real pass rush bag of tricks. He doesn't have much with respect to that. What he does, what's that?
Very raw.
Very, like I said, George Gums was raw. Zion Young is leaps and bounds
more raw.
Leaps and bounds more raw than George Gums. What he does have is, and it's I don't know how to describe this. I'll try. It's something that is just it's an instinctual thing. Like when you're running down a quarterback, you kind of want to sort of size them up and square them up so that they can't get away from you.
Hang on a second, Kaz. We got my boy ain't been here. My boy ain't been here in a while.
Crimson.
Give me a second. Shout out. Go ahead. Y'all give him a shout out, man. Anybody can.
Man, what up, Crimson? Crimson got your paycheck must have come in.
Good to see him, man. I'm glad to see him. I ain't seen him.
Crimson says invest in the DT, the edges we have will come home if they fix the middle.
Big up. There you go.
He's right. He's right, man. He's right. But go ahead, finish your breakdown, kids.
Yeah, that's a very interesting thought, Crimson. End of the day, man, Zion is raw, man. He's got a lot. There would be a lot of work to do to get him to where you need him to be. But as I was saying, my thought was just he will sort of put a quarterback into a position where it's a sack. And that's very cool. If he's running you down, he's going to run you down in a way that puts you down, as opposed to allows you to sort of break out to the left or to the right, much like what Caleb Williams would do. He'll run you down. The real problem is, again, up against those tackles on the edge on a weekly basis, he doesn't really bring to the table what you need to get by on a regular basis. He just unfortunately does not. It's going to take him some time to learn that. I don't know if there's been a transition, if he's moved from a position to the edge. Maybe he was a DT for a little while. It's like is this is just speculation? Feels to me like a defensive tackle.
No.
No.
He'll be able to. He's big and strong enough where you can kick him inside for a rep.
You could
here and there, but no, you don't see a whole lot of that at all.
You could, but like I say, he's very raw, man. Like, this is if we're talking about where he's positioned. So in the draft, Zion Young is like top 50 selection.
Hey, kids, talk for a second. I gotta pop out for 1 second.
Sure, he's a top 50 selection. Now that I'm looking at this film, that's not where I would spend my money with respect to the top 50 selections in the draft. He's he needs a lot of development, y'all. He does, right? So I was saying that George Gums is raw at selection. Where was he? Like close to the
60.
You know what I'm saying? No, he was further than that. He's George Gums is 244.
244.
All right. I'm going to say George Gums Jr. at selection 244 is leaps and bounds ahead of Zion Young, even if Zion Young has put down better, quote unquote, statistics. I think those statistics are probably more related to the guys beside him and what they brought to the table, which would allow him to get more stats. So that's my thoughts there. Yeah.
So another young developmental piece of clay.
Yeah.
What kind of versatility are you seeing? Can from what you're saying as young, can he go inside, play tackle as well?
He has the size for it, and the strength for it. I think he could be. I think he could potentially get some reps at the 3 tech. I think he could go inside.
All right, kid, you gotta stop saying that. He's not. He's not.
You don't think he could get some inside reps?
No, he can get some inside. He's not gonna play no 3 tech, man. He's an edge rusher, and when I talk about a ball of clay, I just want you to know it just takes a sculptor to get out of him what they need to get out of him to turn him into the kind of player that his upside presents to you. And he's got the physicality. I think he's going to be a guy that tops off at about 275, unless he goes to a team that asks him to drop a couple pounds and play in space a little bit more. But where he's at 265, he's going to be probably 275, 278 somewhere when he gets done with his man weight. You know what I mean? He's a big kid as it is. Coming in the league at 265, that's impressive. And he's a very mobile, very lean, very fast 265, and he can easily put on another 10 pounds and then not slow him down an iota. And so he's going to be a much bigger player than he is now. So, when that happens and some team decides that they want to, we're going to get a little bit more throw him in the inside a little bit more on pass rushing downs, then you can get some of that out of him. But to think of him as a 3 technique is the wrong idea. He's an edge.
Well,
he does play really high, Patrick. That's true.
That is also true too. Bottom line for me, and I'll give you some of his pro day stats. So 6'5" and 5'8", so just about 6'6", 267 was at the pro day. Arm length just under 33 and 3/4. 40-475. So 475 is again not bad at all. Vertical jump 31 inches, 31-inch vertical. Broad jump 9.9. So again, really decent measurables in that respect. I just don't know, man. I look at this tape and I'm like, this guy gets statistics, but he's just so raw that I don't know, man. It's going to take a little while to get him where you need to get him to.
I think if you draft him high, I think you can't expect him
to start and be impactful, right?
Yeah.
That's my point. That's like quite literally my point about this player. He's projected top 50 in the NFL. I don't know if again
he's got to go to a 4-3 defense.
I think he should be in a 4-3 where he's lined up, more or less one-on-one. But even then, I can't. Like I don't like being like negative with these young kids, man. But I just don't see him.
There's nothing negative about his game. He's just a young player that needs development.
He just needs development, man. It's really what it comes down to. He needs like a solid year to play around and get some snaps and really figure out what his skill set looks like. Because right now his skill set is just all around rawness, and he makes it work. Like he makes it work in the college ranks. So hopefully he can get some real impact in the NFL. If he can, then it's just now refining that and adding some some additional skills to that. But
I love Anthony Wilson's comments tonight, man. You keep bringing it, man. He is asking, is he kind of a Mark Anderson type? Very similar, but more like I would say Izzy. Remember Izzy? I forget Izzy's last name.
Adonijah?
Yeah, Izzy Adonijah. More like that. And I think Izzy was one of the more underrated cats from that squad that we had. I mean, Izzy was powerful. And again, man, we played what Lovey did was put a power edge on one side and put a quicker guy on the other, and have that complement of power and speed from one side or the other, have that complement each other. And so, yeah, man, I think Zion Young is a piece where he might be drafted and where he might land for us. I think, to be honest with you, Zion Young would have to fall in the draft for us to get him. Because at 25, I don't see this happening. I just don't. But I could be surprised. We got another edge rusher to talk about, and this guy, I'm much more confident that is NFL ready right now. Give me a second to pull him up. And weirdly so, and I'll tell you why. This is Mikael Kamara out of Indiana. He's 6'1", 265. Same weight, but lower to the ground. You talking about production? You talking about power? Talking about ferocity. Now, what they do at Indiana is exactly the defensive front that we have here in Chicago. So it'd be a seamless transition. They put an emphasis and a exclamation point on the defensive lineman to get up the field. They're getting after you with 4 guys. And so this guy really, really gets off the ball. He's extremely powerful. And I think because he's so vertically challenged at 6'1" as an edge rusher, He's a compact, powerful dude. He's different. He's just built different. This guy is production personified, brother. Mikal Kamara is going to bring production right away. He's a draft right now, plug and play right now edge rusher. It kind of reminds me of Cam Jordan. Built low to the ground, powerful, and you just like, man, this little chunky ass dude, how is he getting all this? How's he making all these plays? It's because he's built low to the ground and powerful. The reason why he makes all those plays. Same thing with Mikal Kamara. Extremely difficult to deal with. Power and his speed and abruptness. He gets under you with ease. Gets around you with ease. So the speed matches the power. The quickness matches the speed. He's a complete package at 6'1", 265. And rose to the challenge of every big game they had. Stuck out every single time. So you know he's a big-time player. Made for the big moments. Whether it's a Big Ten contender, whether somebody in the SEC they had to play. During the playoffs, he stepped up and made big-time plays. He's a plug-and-play edge rusher that has been to Chicago for a top 30 visit, by the way.
So now you're saying they're running the same defense that the Bears and Dennis Allen are running over with Indiana. So is he too small or what? The question, why is Levante in the chat here saying he's not a scheme fit, not a fit?
I don't know why Levante, because he doesn't have the height and range. Probably because the edge rushers we've seen a little bit longer. But I use Cam Jordan as an example for that reason.
Wow. Cam's a lot taller than him.
Nah, he's not a lot taller. Cam Jordan about 6'2", 6'3".
He's about 6'3". This cat's
maybe not even. I think that's being generous.
I don't know, man. This cat's like 6 feet tall.
This guy is powerful as shit. And if you just watch the production. Never mind some of the measurables. Sometimes a player that as good as him,
it's different.
He is everything they want.
I remember watching Indiana when they were on the road to the national championship, and Kamara was making plays, as was the other, let's call him little fella on their defense, the defensive back, the 5'9" dude, but they were balling out, so it's that the undersized, maybe they're a few inches shorter, a few pounds lighter. But it's what do they say? It's not the size of the dog in the fight; it's the size of the fight in the dog. Now use that expression loosely. But if Kamara can do what needs to be done, I don't think it really should matter his being a few a pound short or a few inches off.
Multiple games with multi-sack performances against top-tier teams. No matter what the competition is, he's going to make plays. Time and time again, when you don't get stuck in the measurables and just watch the game play out and what he can bring to the table, you quickly just say, damn, all that. Any good football scout, any good football evaluator, first thing they're going to notice is what Ked just got to saying, his measurables, and what Levante is saying, the measurables. But when you keep watching the tape, and he ends up in the top 30 visit in Chicago for a reason. And I know that reason by looking at his tape. He's a bad MFer, is what he is. Period. He's just bad.
There's not much to say about that. Can't
you talking about somebody that can kick inside and is powerful enough to play 3 technique? He's one.
Oh, there's a versatility.
Yeah, Zion is a little long, in my opinion, for that. I ain't saying that he can't do it, but talking about a guy that can seamlessly kick inside, I've seen that multiple times in the Indiana defense. He did it with ease.
Well, now where did his production go from 2024 to 2025?
That's a good question. 2025, he's been a monster. I just think they simplified what they asked him to do. You take the thinking out of the game and you get a faster, more explosive football player. I don't know. I can't answer that question. I can tell you this, man, this dude is he's a A1 football player, edge rusher in this draft, and he's probably gonna not be drafted as high as some of these other edge rushers, but he's gonna bring the production right away. I think he'll be more productive than majority of the edge rushers drafted this year right away. He's in
Now,
that.
He's projected as a 5th, 6th rounder, but just to question is like we used Austin Booker as a litmus test earlier for edges. Now coming out of Indiana, is Kamara more polished than Booker was coming out at K-State?
Yeah.
I was waiting for that answer, and he ain't wrong. So I'm laughing with you. This is an interesting guy, Mikhail Kamara. Very interesting look. So I'm gonna read you his measurables. Hate me after Nomad. Okay,
but it just don't mean shit to me.
I'm about to go to where your head is. So that's what I'm saying. Hate me after. So here are his measurables. So 6 feet tall on the edge, which is pretty short. 250, decent weight. Regular hand size, 9.5. 31-inch arm length. Somebody was asking in the chat, what is his arms? Wingspan about 77, which again makes sense. 40-yard dash 4.9, vertical jump 34, broad jump 9.1, shuttle 475. So like looking at these general measurables, he's on the lower end of everything. Then go look at the tape. Okay, and this is why, like, I'm looking at this tape. He's a little guy. He doesn't little stocky guy. My boy gets pressure, y'all. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't, measurables be damned and all that stuff. He gets pressure. He gets in. He's got a bag of tricks. He's got bend, and the bend is a little bit different than like a man, Robert. What was the homie's name that we had with 12 sacks?
Robert Quinn.
So Robert Quinn will go like 45 degrees on your ass sometimes, which is crazy because of how tall he is and just his ability to bend. This guy ain't going 45 degrees, but he doesn't have to because he's lower to the ground. So if he's up against a 6'5", 6'6", 6'7" sometimes tackle, he just kind of gets so low that they can't mess with him because he's not.
What I'm getting at, kid, this is superpower.
It's different. It's not that, you know what I mean? It's a different thing.
Low man wins in football in a defensive line game.
In that situation, yeah, he does. Like, and you see it all the time. The other upside is they're giving him a 4.9. I'm assuming really that's 40 yards. Like, that's really what we're talking about, 40-yard dash. I don't know if he's really ever gonna have the 40-yard dash on the field because you'll see him he bursts through and he will get vertical on your ass. He'll get to the quarterback. And there's that, and I mean time after time after time. Yeah, like if we're talking about Austin Booker and coming in with a bag of tricks, this guy's bag of tricks is different. But and they work. Effective. They work.
I got to tell you, man. I've been doing this stuff, evaluating talent, for a long time before we even started doing these podcasts. I remember as many people that were high on Aaron Donald coming out of the draft out of Pitt. man, people were saying so much shit about him. People were saying so there's a lot of people out there that would say that would put an emphasis on what he can't do and less of an emphasis on what he can do. And I'm one of those, I value the can do part. You know what I'm saying? So I seen the dog while he was in school and it was consistent. I see the dog in this football player and what he can do, it really is strong on tape. Trips, when I say strong, it's really strong. Extreme. You can't ignore it.
It jumps off the film, like off the tape. It honestly does. And like I don't know if you guys could see me watching it, but the whole time I'm shaking my head, going, "Man, this kid's 6 feet tall, undersized, kind of chubby." Like I see why you're making sort of the Aaron Donald comparison. You know what I mean? Like I can kind of see it. I wouldn't make Aaron Donald. I'd say maybe even like a
no. It's the level of shit that they threw.
I know what you mean.
As many people as that were high on this dude, there was probably more people that was just like, no, he's not going to be a good NFL player. He's too small. He's this, he's that, and all this kind of stuff about what he's not. He doesn't have long arms. He's vertically challenged and all this kind of shit, measurable stuff, and ended up being probably the best 3-tech that ever lived.
Yeah.
You know, say I don't. That's why I don't pay attention to that shit. I watch tape, and the tape tells me what somebody is. And I'm not gonna tell you I bat 1,000, but I got a high batting percentage, bro. This is gonna be a fucking monster in the NFL. I promise you, Mikael Kamara is gonna be a monster.
I wish I could have, man. 66 solo tackles, 23 sacks. I don't know what to tell y'all, but the kid gets the job done. Regardless, given his God-given gifts as they are. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know what else to tell you. The real benefit to me is that once again, he's a look in the 300s. Right? We're not talking about a top 50 visit here. Top 50 selection in the draft. We are talking about 301. You know, you can get this guy
that far, man.
Huh?
He won't fall that far.
Oh, I'm not necessarily saying he's going to. I'm saying that's the projection. You know, that being the projection, you're probably not spending your first 4 picks on a Mikael Kamara, which is beautiful because you can save a later round selection for this particular position if that's what you wanted to do, if he's your guy of choice, right? So you know, I like to see these later round guys look better in some cases than some of the you know, the top 50, top 150 guys. Gives you so much more versatility when it comes down to game time. What it do, Ski?
Look out, Paul.
Ski?
Another one I ain't seen in a long time. What up, Paul?
Oh, Ski, what it do, brother? How you doing, man? Hope everything's good.
Here on this fresh breakdown on Mikael Kamara, man. I'm fighting with arms too short to box with God is the way this conversation is going. You know, but you talking about a guy that, you know, again, man, remember what we do here in Chicago. They like football players that have the capability to kick inside. If you're going to get an edge rusher, they want you to be able to. If you can't, you can't. You know, Austin Booker ain't going to be a guy that they ask to kick inside. No. But this guy can. I can promise you that. He might, who knows? He might develop as a 3 technique in this team because he's that. I would say that I think he's.
Who did he remind you of? Did he remind you of anybody?
Cam Jordan.
You say Cam Jordan.
Yes. Powerful, abrupt, pass rushing array, and gets the damn job done consistently.
My comp is Khalil Mack.
That's a good comp. He's just bigger than Khalil.
Say what?
He's just bigger than Khalil.
As in more
He's just
body
got
weight.
more mass. He's got
more body weight. I feel you.
Khalil is strong as shit now, but this dude is strong as well. He just has some bottom behind it. I'd say if you look at like today, I looked at some comparison tape when I was thinking about Zion Young, George Gums. I look back at Montez Sweat because Zion Young reminds me more of Montez Sweat as far as what he can bring to the table. Montez Sweat was a little more polished around the edge. And just
feel Zion. Okay, all right. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
George Gums, similar to there's a guy that came out of Alabama a couple of years ago. I just can't think of his name right now, but I still looked at that in comparison to Montez Sweat. But this guy definitely, I looked at some Cam Jordan stuff, and this is where this guy lands to me in my comparison range. It's Cam Jordan. Look how effective his career turned out to be. I wouldn't tell you Cam Jordan, if he's 6'3", I think I'd be extremely surprised. I think he's more 6'2", 6'1". This guy might be more 6 foot than 6'1".
Bob Rodriguez, yo. He says, Kamar's a good draft prospect. Huh?
Just read it.
He says Kamar's a good draft prospect. He does everything well, but he can't get on any roller coasters.
Oh damn! Got to be this high to ride this.
You gonna call that man Bushwick Bill and shit?
Oh wow!
You gonna do that, man?
Halloween fell on a weekend.
Yeah, Montez Sweat did run a 4.
Oh snap!
He was the fastest out of his class, man.
Yeah, he was.
He by a long shot. He was a bad motherfucker, man. This guy right here, I'm telling you, man, sleeper du jour.
Yeah, I love to see. So I don't know, man. The edge position is because my son played it and I've been watching it for so long. It's my favorite position to evaluate and look at. You know, there are almost rules to this with respect to the NFL. If you're drafting, you're looking for certain things. I'm gonna say this guy doesn't have any of those things, but you know what he has? He has production, he has effectiveness, and he has his own thing going on.
Well, what about Patrick is saying? What about Kalijah Cansey as a comp?
See, like
Kalijah played interior tackle. This guy plays edge rusher.
He plays edge versus.
I'm talking about college tape. There's two different things.
They're built similar. You know, I'll give you that. But yeah. See, Levante's with me, and that's why I don't make the Cam Jordan comparison. Cam Jordan's 6'4", 287. Like Cam Jordan's way bigger than this guy. This guy's he's a little guy in comparison. And to that effect, it is a different type of edge rusher play that you're going to get out of Mikhail Kamara. But it's effective. Don't get me wrong. It works.
I'll just ask you this question. Are you impressed or very impressed with his tape that you're looking at?
I'm gonna say I'm very impressed. Mm-hmm. Thanks for asking me the way that you did. Thanks for framing it that way. I'm going to say that I'm very impressed because, again, I'm looking at the player. I'm looking at the measurables. I'm looking at something that, in my opinion, under normal pretenses, ain't what I would be putting at the edge. Mm-hmm. He's defying that and excelling. So take that for all that it's worth.
I think if you look at enough tape with Mikhail Kamara, sometimes, stats can be misleading. This guy lives in the backfield. This guy lives in the backfield.
Patrick just nailed something here too. So,
yes,
Patrick Higgins is saying he has great hand fighting skills combined. Yes. He certainly does. There's a lot of evidence of him just chopping them hands out.
That's why he lives
in the leverage for himself.
That's why he lives in the backfield, Patrick.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with that. That's part of that. That is part of a big part of his game.
This is a sleeper, deeper, de jour. I'm
Different
telling you,
game here, man.
This is a different cat.
Yeah,
This is a
different
different cat. Even though he doesn't fit the typical edge rusher profile.
Yeah.
Throw that shit on out the window. Neither did a lot of players that end up really excelling at their position in the NFL.
Well, and it's like it is just counterintuitive to what every team is trying to do to block at that position. Just can't, like, his build is counterintuitive to it. It is quite the opposite of what the expectation is at that edge. He ain't long.
You can kind of see Trips. You can kind of
He
see
ain't
it.
tall.
If you look at this graphic, look at the lower body, and you can kind of see that there's a lot of power there. You can barely see, but you can see there's lots of power right there, and it shows up on film.
And he's got motor, man. No questions there. No questions about the motor. He will keep it moving, keep it coming, keep the pressure on. I'm very impressed by this particular player. Again, I'm very impressed, straight up, bar none.
It's kids. I'd be glad to answer any questions about this cat. I'm excited about this one, man. And I ain't
I'm glad you put him on my radar. I'm excited about this particular player as well. I'm glad we evaluated the players that we did, especially on the edge to date. I have my thoughts about all of them. Really appreciated this tape. I'm glad we looked at Zion Young. In my opinion, I think that's if I'm drafting, I'm passing, I'm skipping over and around. But even George Gums, man, nothing like George Gums really jumped out as a developmental talent, but versus a Zion Young, I think he's so much further ahead than Zion. There's a lot more development to be had with that, with Zion versus a George Gums. This particular player, though, just different. I don't know if he even really needs any development. I think he comes onto the field and plays and hits the ground running.
Plug and play.
I that's my thoughts too. I think he's plug and play. One time you put him on the line and you see how the opposing tackle manages with him, because he's got power, he's coming through, and he's so low to the ground, they're gonna have a problem.
Yeah.
Super cool.
That's why I think that's what makes him unique. I know that's what makes him unique is his power, and because he's that vertically challenged guy that's not like the mainframe edge rusher, that gives him, he knows it, and he just knows to play with power, get underneath people, and use it to your advantage. These guys are going to have a hard time that have to get down, bend down to kind of block him. Kid said it before, a 6'6", 6'7", taller guy, even some of the 6'5", 6'4" dudes are going to have a problem with him because he plays with a low pad level. Very low pad level. He's gonna excel in the NFL, and it's not gonna take him long. Just put him on the field and let him get down. Let him get down. But that's that, man. Any last thoughts on any of the players that we talked about? Any thoughts? Here's the time to do it.
Yeah, no. I liked all the players we talked about today. This was a very, very interesting conversation. It's right down to Keontae Scott. I'm blown away with his abilities at the nickel position. And, I'll just be frank. I just hope we ain't, there ain't a fist fight in the cornerback room about who gets to be the starting cornerback at the nickel position for the Chicago Bears. Is all I'm trying to say. Maybe there might be, and if there is,
no difference. I don't care who starts where. Get the best out of get the guy that you need to have at a certain position, and let's go.
Yeah. Like I say, I don't know how that shakes up, but the kid is real good, and he might he might be, and he said it too, he might be better than Kyler Gordon. Hate to say this out loud, but
Hey, man,
go watch the tape. Go see what I saw.
at the minimum, he's faster.
There's that is
4.3 is
what it
faster.
is.
4.3 is faster. And I think Kyler ran 4.5 or 4.6 or something.
I
But
agree.
I'm not caught up in 40 speed. Don't really mean nothing. Football speed means more.
Yeah, Kyler got that twitch, but either way, I just wow. Yeah, all these players in my opinion were a good look for different reasons. Great on the nickel case scenario with Keontae. Zane brings really interesting stuff to the table, but again, work in progress. George Gum, work in progress with a bag of tricks, and Mikhail Kamara, just a mismatch, right?
Yeah.
He's a mismatch at the edge position that you probably didn't really see coming, and we'll see how that works out in the NFL. I think it's going to work out really well. Whoever gets a Mikhail Kamara, I think it works out very well.
Nice.
All right, man. I'm gonna let y'all get a quick let the Bear fans get the last say tonight, man. Y'all want to set them up for a nice draft with emphasis on our paid members and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's cool. So if you are a paid subscriber, a channel member, or what have you, and you would like to do the GMing, the picking for the mock draft for now, before we get out of here for the evening, hit us up in the chat. And whether you are on the Nomad Network or a Kids or Sports Chicago style, also known as Triple RSCS, all the chats go to the same places. And be prepared for the grilling that you will get from other fans, your fellow fans, over your asinine picks at that spot.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what you're picking yet and where, but you will get those comments.
Yeah, that will happen.
I'm like Levante, y'all. Let's work together.
All right. So Levante wants to do a group project. But how do we do that?
Well,
because now, kids, question.
Yes.
Do you you have the ability to put up a poll in the chat there?
we maybe
I'm gonna
That's
say
just a question.
I'm
But I
gonna
mean, see, but the question, the purpose of the question is to say, like, yeah, there is, like, if he does like with the YouTube, but working together, that might be a little difficult, because it's like, all right, count the numbers. Do we take safety here, or who do you want? But first of all, who wants to be the shot caller, big baller?
how about
Who
this?
wants to be the GM?
Why don't y'all
Because
just
like
take turns?
Navante saying, let's work together, and then
Take
we get hello.
Take turns, maybe.
I think we give it to Levante. Levante saying he's on this. Levante, you ready?
I thought he was saying let's work together, y'all, on this.
He will be conscientious enough to work with the people, and that's part of the reason why I'm
okay,
suggesting.
he'll listen to
Go ahead and
feedback.
fire it up, man. Go and fire it up. I'll be quiet here and let y'all do it.
All right, so he'll be
Can we
gracious and glorious.
Looks good here, but can
GM.
you blow it up just a little more?
No.
Okay, it's good.
That's
If
it.
you can't, you can't. Let's go.
Well, we can go full screen now.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. That should do.
All right, so all right, we got it set for the 7th round, and we got the enter, and boom, there we go. Now we're enter. Wait, now we got to pause, I think. Now, Levante, since you're doing it, do you want to make any trades now? Because you have picks 25, 57, 60, 89, 129, 239, and 241. Do you want to trade up for anyone? As that is an option. Everybody's on the board. The world is your oyster.
Yeah, let us know what you want to do here, Levante. So we'll leave things more or less up to you. Chat, feel free to give him some help. Oh, Patrick Higgins is saying start with trades first. Jalen Johnson and Montez Sweat gone. This is what Patrick Higgins is suggesting to you, Levante. By all stretches of the imaginations, take that into consideration and flush it down the toilet if that's what you see fit. So take it for what it's worth. Let us know.
Patrick, maybe next week we'll do the other one, the stick to the model one, where you can make those trades.
I think you could probably make maybe.
I mean, you probably do it here. If you add a player.
Go to proposed trade just for shit.
Okay, proposed trade. Who you want to trade with? Atlanta, Baltimore? Who you want? Pick, give it a name.
Who's a patsy? The Jets.
Let's go. Jets. Where the hell are they? Jets. There we go.
They suck. They're desperate.
You can add picks and you can add players.
Looky there. Thought so. Says no trade up. Trade down from 25 to pick up a pick or 2.
Okay, all right. So we will start and let it proceed, and then when we get to 25, when the Bears, aka Levante, aka Chief Latero, he will see what the trade offers are. That's what the Chiefs do in this country, kids.
Oh, okay.
All right, so the offers, you get the Houston Shrouds offering to move up to 25 and take your pick 129, and in exchange, they will give you 28 and 69, a value of 280 versus your value of 249. The second trade offer is from Pittsburgh for both the 25 and 29 again. Pittsburgh will 53, 76, 85, and a second in 2027, a value of 282 to your 249. And the third trade offer is from the Raiders for pick 25 itself. And you move back to 36, pick up 67, and a 2027 fourth rounder. Any of these three trades tickle your fancy?
I see the comments in there. Stop, take Akeem Mesidor.
Yeah.
Before they change their mind.
Cornelius Claus is screaming Akeem. And Patrick Higgins is screaming.
Did y'all see this comment? Did you see this comment yet?
Yeah,
no, that's what we're doing now.
I walked out for a second. My bad.
Yeah, but he's just now deciding between the offers.
So again, on the board right now, Kenyon Sadiq, Peter Woods. I'm not going to try to pronounce your first name. Or your last. Kadyn McDonald, Akeem Mesidor, Casey Concepcion.
Oliva Vega.
Blake Miller, Christian Miller, Colton Hood, Ty Simpson.
Where you at, Levante?
Yeah, Levante, what happened to you?
Give me a little time. Take a time. That's a smart man.
Processing. He's processing.
Oh, can you go back to that first trade, please? I didn't even see that one.
This one.
Yeah. If
28 and 69 for
129.
I like that trade. He
just
said
trade.
Take the H-Town.
All right, because you're still trading back 3 spots, within the first round still. So now you are back on the clock. And before we look at the trade offers, off the clock from 25 went Ione, the offensive guard, Peter Woods, and Akeem Mesidor. And now you are back on the clock with the trade offers of 2 of them to give up pick 28 The Aints will give you pick 42 and a 2027 second rounder. And they are value offered a 207, value you have 209, not a good deal. But the Patriots want to give you pick 31 and a second rounder in 27 for 28 and 239, and a value of 255 to 211. So you good come up with the Patriots, pick up a second rounder, and then trade back again out of the first round. So
is that the only trade trip?
Will.
What's the previous trade?
The previous is the first one, 42 and a second. And this one is 31 and a second for 28 and 239. So you're moving back 3 spots.
And
Big Cheese says counter the Pats.
Yeah. Counter the Pats with.
Same with Patrick. Patrick says counter as well. What are your thoughts, Levante?
Now this is the counter screen for the Pats.
He said counter it.
Counter New England. All right. Counter with. What are you altering?
So here's what I would do. I would remove 239 and put a 7th rounder for 2027.
Like this right here, right there.
Yeah, that's what I would do first. Likely to accept. Hi. Before you press propose, let's just think about this now. New England also has a 63 in there, and that's what I would be looking at. So let's click on 63.
Y'all see what Levante just said?
Yeah, see if you can get 63 on 95. I'm so with it. So there's a 63. It says trade acceptance low. Let's sweeten the deal. What can we do to get this?
See, now 95 is still low as it is. Let's reject it.
Let's stick with 63. And we lost 129. We gained what? What do we gain?
You got so you're moving back to 31 and you're picking up 63 in a second and 27.
Oh, wait a second. Take the second and 27 off. Cool. That is much closer. Let's give them a 6th rounder in 2027 instead of a 7. Try it.
And we want to confirm this.
Whoa. Whoa.
Reject it.
Okay.
And so we go back and we counter.
Yeah.
And so we were here, and we take that off, and we put this on over there. All right, go from there.
Shit. Okay, let's go 4th. Let's go with the 4th. Yeah. They'll take this, maybe.
I know a lot of teams get away with giving up a
accepted.
Oh.
All right. So now, just before we look at this, FYI, the picks are 31, 57, 60, 63, 69, nice,
dude,
89, 239, and 241. Now, from the last trade where you Mesidor was that. So you missed out on Caden McDonald, KC Concepcion, Emmanuel Emmanuel McNeil Warren. And now you are back on the clock at the end of the first round, still at pick number 31. And you have 3 trade offers.
Let's just keep it realistic, Levante. I don't think we're doing no more trading here. Realistic.
Well, they're offers. So I mean, so just 31.
Let's just draft.
What?
I'm talking to Levante. Let's just draft.
Okay. All right. So the offers are 31 and 239. San Fran will give you 46 and 58. For just 31, the Eagles will give you 54, 68, and 98. And Jack's Ville, 431 and 239. We give you 56, 81, and a second and 27. What positions do y'all want to look at? D end.
He's talking to the community. He's trying to be a community guy. He said we're gonna draft right here, y'all.
All right, so you're drafting at 31 here in the first round. And there's
look at them all. Let's look at safety starting up. No, not special teams, Doc. Defense. There you go. So Halsey's at 46, about 16 picks away from where you are. Kamari Ramsey, Jalen Kilgore, Bud Clark. Okay. Go to DT. Kristen Miller, Lee Hunter. Kristen Miller's right where we're at.
Y'all keep talking to Levante in the community. He's listening to y'all.
Caleb Banks, Grayson Halton, a little further back, right smack where you're about to be with the next selection. All right, let's look at the edge now. Malachi Lawrence, Zion Young, Gabe Jacas. Cassius Howell.
Gabe Jacas.
What are your thoughts on Malachi Lawrence?
Me?
Yes, I'm asking you.
Stud. I'm funny they got him listed at 270.
Smaller than that, you think?
Well, and on a couple of sites I looked at, he's 250, but if he's 270, he's a bear, in my opinion.
Edge, that's the one Malachi Lawrence, but that is Corny's guy right here.
He's one of the first few, let's say, first handful of guys we did, isn't he?
Speaking of Corny, Cornelius watching.
Malachi Lawrence is electric, bro. Straight electricity.
Scroll down for me, Trip, before you click X, sorry. A little bit further. 6'4", 4'5", 40.
Go back up a little bit, Trip.
There ain't nothing wrong with any of this shit.
A little bit more where it says his weight. See, they got him there at 253.
53. Okay. Even then. So Dwayne's saying we can get safety next.
Somebody wants to see a LT left tackles. There you go, tackles. Blake Miller, Max Ilcanter, Tiernan, Cronover.
So World is a left. Which one of these guys at the top are a left there, Nomad? I believe Max is a left. Is that right? Or is Blake Miller?
Blake Miller is he's a cream of that crop.
Oh, all right.
I'll be honest with you, man. I don't think there's a chance in hell they draft no left tackle this early.
They've been talking about it enough.
You know, that's just me.
All right, where you at, Levante?
What are your thoughts, brother? I personally, if we're talking here, Blake Miller is a really good look at this particular spot. I go to all, Chip. Kenyon Sadiq. We have a tight end. I would lean towards I'd lean towards the edge position, man.
Wait a minute. Thieneman is still there? Blake Thieneman is still, Thieneman from the safety is still there?
He's gotta be gone.
Ain't no way.
He's near 20.
He's still there.
He won a 15.
Thieneman's gone.
About to say, God damn. You ever seen that meme where white people eat black people food for the first time? White dude said, God.
My eyes open up like this is life.
I ain't never eating white people food no more.
What happened? Levante loses internet connection?
He's trying to listen to him. We got to go ahead and make a jump here.
We didn't even make the first pick yet.
Going to make an executive decision here and then leave somebody.
Cornelius Squash thinks a lot like I do. That's exactly what I would do. I would go with the DE. I'd go
edge, and
Malachi Lawrence.
safety.
Where's Zion? Zion's there.
All right, I like Lawrence.
He likes Lawrence. All right, let's go with Lawrence.
So Lawrence is there. Is Malachi Lawrence edge? Boom. All right, so we are going to fulfill that edge pick. Malachi Lawrence at 31. Next up, 51, then 60, 63, and so forth.
White Ghost wants to know where TJ Parker went. I'm pretty sure he went. I don't know where.
Wait, hold on. TJ Parker?
Yeah, edge rusher. Oh, there he goes.
23.
Makes sense.
All right, so where are you at, Levante? You at 57. Next pick is at 60.
On the board, Keith Abney, Zion Young, Gabe Jacas.
Jacas.
Fine. Genesis Smith, Oscar Delp, Skylar Bell, Caleb Tiernan, Mike Washington Jr.
Cornelius is satisfied. He loves some Malachi Lawrence.
Man, Corny is like, whatever the hell y'all do rest of the night, I don't give a damn. He got his Malachi Lawrence.
He like Big Cheese like Gabe Jacas, boy.
See, Big Cheese here like Jacas. Now, just so you know, you got one trade offer to go from 57 back to 91, and Buffalo will give you a second rounder. What, they got another second rounder to give?
Well,
I'm just saying. All right. Oh, wait, no, that's not Levante. Damn, they took Stukes. So you looking at safety? You want to look at safeties? Let's go to the safety room. Up top, you got Genesis Smith, then Kilgore, Clark, Lewis Moore. Yeah, Lewis Moore. That's the dude I was talking about, the little fella.
Stukes is actually a corner. So if you look at corner.
Corner?
Yeah. So Stukes and the homie Scott are gone. Both of them.
Stukes just went right there.
Wow. Just before.
And Scott went right before him.
Just before. They must have heard us talking earlier in the day.
They got us fucked up, man.
You know?
You got me fucked. So safety, we are back here. This is the top of the board at safety at 53 with Smith. Then Kilgore, Clark, and on.
Look at the DT position.
DT.
He's canvassing the chat. What are you guys thinking out there?
And DT, you got Halton at the top.
Daryl
Jackson, Big Citrus, Kanga, McClellan, Landon Robinson, and Caleb Proctor. Been hearing the Proctor's name, pop up a lot.
Ever since we did that breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
Proctor look good, but he's so far, like you can get him so far so much later that I wouldn't really have a conversation.
According to these numbers, of course.
Yeah. I wouldn't have the conversation.
Because IRL, he'll go around.
Right. Who knows what happens in the real draft? You could Ryan Polson and get a Ruben Hippolyte in the fifth round.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. All right. So what are the suggestions? What are y'all thinking here at
so 57? Saying he'd go Halton. We got 60, 69, and
wait, 57 is right now, 60, 63.
He wants 69. To go safety here. He's sure he wants to go safety.
Ooh, Cornelius Squalls is a madman.
Wait, what was that?
I like the way you think Cornelius Squalls.
He wants to go safety here. He's sure about that.
So which safety? Genesis Smith,
I'm not sure.
Kilgore, Bud Clark, Lewis Moore, Zaki Wheatley.
Ask me about any of them but Genesis Smith if you want to. Genesis, I'm still breaking down. Love him so far. The Arizona defensive backs are super duper good. It's like that Washington class that Kyler came out of.
6'2", 32. Keep scrolling down there, bro. 42-inch vertical, 10.
They're tough, man. Those kids are tough.
Those are crazy measurables.
And on his pro day, he was listed at a 4.5.
I'm pro top 5 in safeties with
AC Adam just
so
jumped
far.
in to say
So
that
far.
he likes himself some Genesis
So
Smith.
far, I'm just not done with the tape. I'm going back to it probably this week.
So I haven't looked at Genesis Smith in any capacity thus far, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Levante wants a safety here. I like these measurables that are there.
There it goes. Take Smith.
Smith is taken.
There's your second selection in the draft, Levante.
All right, so where are we at? We are right back on the board at 60, and then the next pick is 63.
So scroll up a little bit on that draft there, Trip, just so we can see who disappeared in these last couple selections. There goes Zion Young and Jadarian Price. So here we go. We're kind of in luxury land.
My suggestion, Levante, look at all. See the top players in this. That's my suggestion. Then go from there. But you don't really have to draft a need right now. You can draft.
You're in luxury land, right? So you can draft free. You can select whatever you want.
There's Mike
Washington Jr., and I think both me and Nomad are thinking the same thing.
I think Gabe jacas.
Well, he could do Gabe. He's got an edge already. And real talk, we just scouted a bunch of viable edges much later in the draft that he could get.
Well, Patrick wants to take the trade.
And let's look at the trade.
It's we're at 60 right now, and New England wants to move back to 72, and they will give you 95. Then there's a second offer where you move back 4 spots to Seattle, and they will give you a 4th in 27. Any counters, or you want a pick? Top of the board is cornerback Abney, and then Jacas, and so forth.
First off is a good offer, but it's only 3. Yeah, I'd take the first offer, to be frank with you. But let's see what Levante says. The only reason I would take this is because you're picking 3 selections from here. Odds are you can probably still get Mike Washington if that's your target, but I'll leave that to you.
Yeah, because we're right at the end of the second round.
Yeah. Cornelius is in agreement as well. He's too good to pass up.
Mike Washington, running back.
What we got? We got 60 and 69.
60,
that gives
60, 63, and 69.
So that gives you a little leeway from Mike Washington.
Yeah, you could.
Let's do the trade. All right, which trade?
That's the one you want to do.
Be a little more specific here.
Patriots.
I'm thinking so. Yeah.
That's
now
cool.
You want as is like this? Any count? Is this one you talking about, Levante? Want to make sure.
New England.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
New England. All right, we'll just take that one. Accepted. Now off the board went.
Mike Washington's still there. So there you go.
Skylar Bell, Josiah Trotter, but now you're back on the board at 63, and this is the top of the board right here of all. So yeah, Abney, Jacas, Delp. There's Washington if you wanted them, and the pick next is 69. Nice.
There's a pick right there.
Mike Wash.
He just called it Mike Washington.
All right, there we go. Done. All right. And then Bryce Lance went right after him. And now you are back on the clock at
Bryce Lance is jumping
number 72.
He's
The next, I'm sorry, check that. You are on the clock now at 69. Next pick is 72. And then 89, 95, 239, 241. You have selected an edge, a safety, and a running back thus far. Trade offer, you have 2 of them. one from Seattle to go back from 69 and 241, and they will give you 96 and a third next season. And then the Saints are offering to move back from 69 to 73 and pick up a 150.
From where we drafting, I think a good idea is to get a 3 technique and then go back to edge, maybe corner or something.
I'm right there with you, and Grayson Halton is sitting right there. That's exactly what I would do.
All right, but now, Chad, are you giving Levante your suggestions as well?
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
then
Levante's already with it, man. He says take Grayson Halton.
Boom, there it is. All right, Halton is selected. Now you are back on the clock.
One more
at
game.
72. Next pick is 89.
You can double up on the edge.
You could.
You can get another corner, whether it's a slot boundary. You can get what safety do we get? We got Genesis Smith, so we good there.
He says
you can also get a dope ass receiver here.
Look at the wideouts just for a minute. He's saying take Abney, but look at the wideouts before you press the button.
Wait. He if that's what he says, just do what he says.
Okay, none really jumps out to me. All right.
All right, take who?
Keith.
He's saying take Abney.
All right, this 6 foot tall cornerback.
He said, whoa. He said, look at wide receiver.
He's kind of with me, so he's saying look at wide receiver first. Let's give him a bit of a look.
All right, top of the board is number 89 with Zachariah Branch. Then Sarrett, Brendan Thompson, Law, Benson.
Fields way down here.
Oh, he's a big boy, huh?
Yeah, you can get him with a later pick. 6'4". Holy crap.
Yeah, I didn't know he was that tall. Wait, where you go? There we go.
4'6". There's the problem. That sounds like a 6'4" wide receiver.
He probably ran a little bit slower 40 than they thought he would.
Yeah,
4'6".
Yeah, that's why he's.
What are you thinking of Levante back to Abney?
Or, Acus is right there. That would really give you a couple waves on the D line. Let's see. We can get a wide receiver or center. Next pick, take Abney. All right, Abney. There you go.
I agree.
All right. So as the picks roll on, and the third round is coming to an end, and you got an edge, you got a safety, you got a running back, you got a defensive tackle, and you got a cornerback. You are on the clock now at 89. Next pick is 95. Then 239 and 241 after that. You are at the top of the board now.
Man.
Receiver, offensive line, start there.
Okay.
All right. And just so you know, you got one trade offer from the Cowboys to go from 89 back to 92 and give up a 6th rounder next year to pick up 152 this year.
That ain't crazy.
Jake Golday is nice linebacker, but we don't have to draft him that high.
Any position that
there's a lot of nice things here, man.
I think he wants to look at receiver from last
Kilgore, Daryl Jackson Jr.
Right, the wide receivers are right here.
Scrolls a little bit lower.
Patrick is saying take the trade.
Scrolls a little bit lower on it past Malachi. Oh, he got some nice.
There's dribbling later. Who else?
There's some nice dudes there. You got some nice. Romello Brinson is nice. Barian Brown is nice.
LSU.
Xavier Thomas.
Much later.
There's some players down there.
So saying to take that trade, which I don't.
So move back a few spots. Accepted. Now off the board went Denny Sutton. Now we are on the clock in the round 3 at pick 92. Your next pick is 95 and then 152. 239, 241. This is the top of the all board right here. As soon as I get up there. Let's see. Deshaun Stribling is Corny's suggestion.
Yeah, you can get Scribbling a little bit further back, Corny. Like I would like Daryl Jackson, Dominique Orange. You probably like a one tech would not be dumb here.
Well, here's a couple of thoughts. Receiver, of course.
Isaiah World is still on the board.
Hold on for a second. Receiver, offensive tackle, center, and also we haven't got a nose tackle. Bill ain't here no more.
Right. This is why I'm saying, yeah.
These are the offensive tackles.
Nice pick. Isaiah World is tough.
Isaiah World is a great selection, but I think the best selection here is just what you said. Back at the DT position, get your one tech in either in Big Citrus. Is Daryl Jackson a one tech?
Yeah, he can play one tech.
Who do you like better, Daryl Jackson or Big Citrus?
Daryl Jackson.
Well, but do you want your between Jackson and Citrus, or do you want to go ahead and grab that left tackle?
It ain't me. I'm just
because you're picking this is picking at 92, and now you're 2 more picks, and then you're back on the clock.
So I think you can get both of them. I think you get Daryl Jackson here, and you get Isaiah World with the next selection. But that's me.
All right. Well,
this is a crazy draft, Levante. By the way, this is pretty.
It's going very well, bro.
This is crazy good.
Got to try to come out of here with another linebacker, an offensive tackle, maybe.
Look at both of them, Jackson and Orange. All right. Jackson's at 85 here. 6'5", 337. Defensive tackle.
Green. All the way around.
315 weight. No on-field drills here listed.
Okay, but we got some pro day stuff.
We have pro day over here.
And so he didn't do nothing on pro day. Vertical jump, not good.
26.5. So it doesn't look like he's the most athletic of guys. I don't know.
He's a one tech though.
He's athletic as shit.
He's a one tech. You know what I mean? Like, what are we expecting here?
Right. So, I mean, not a lot of information on these here fellas, stat-wise. Let's see. Don't let Caleb Proctor get away. He's down here.
Well, yeah, Proctor's a little ways back. Shit, 4.79, 40.
Yeah, he was picking them up, putting them down.
Damn.
How many picks you said we got left, Trip?
Like really 3. There's 5.
92.
Yeah.
95, 152, 239, and 241.
We can even get a center later on.
He said, take Jackson.
There you go.
Daryl Jackson right here. Defensive tackle. Boom. All right. And then off the board went Conga and Galladay. So if you wanted to revisit offensive tackle, that is still available in the name of Isaiah World. Linebacker. These are your choices up there. Any particular position group you would like to focus on there, Levante?
I can't. I don't know how in the hell Kyle Lewis ain't gone yet.
Or Harold Perkins, man. Harold Perkins real good.
I like Kyle Lewis even better.
But I don't know if he's going to be able to get at either one of these guys with pick number 152 coming up.
That's a damn shame he's that far down.
Ooh.
He says
Kyle Lewis
linebacker. So a linebacker right here.
Damn.
All right, so Lawson.
Check the trade.
Check the what?
Check the trade.
trade. Okay. That
Yeah. Patrick Higgins asked the same thing too.
Let's see, to go from 95 back to 105 and give up a 7th to pick up a 4th. And then to go from 95 and give up a 7th, you pick up a 126, a 125, and a 4th next year.
To keep executing this, man, he gonna have the best drive of us all.
Wish I could argue with that statement.
A lot of value on the board.
I cannot.
It is.
Like, you put yourself, man. I'm greedy though, man, because I want Isaiah World now and the linebackers, but I don't think you can get both.
Oh, you can where Kyle Lewis is sitting, depending on where our next pick is. Where's our next pick?
This is what I'm trying to say. So our next pick is 150.
Oh no, you gotta get one or the other. He likes the linebacker.
152. So I think we lose out on them linebackers if we wait.
There we go. He said, "Can we do a counter trade?"
Okay.
I would try with the other one. Let's see what they got. That's all they got, huh? Okay, let's go to the other one. Yeah, try to counter this.
He said with Buffalo.
I would suggest this, though.
He says Buffalo, though.
Well, yeah, but if you look at it, Buffalo doesn't have anything.
He said New York.
Yeah. See, he's with me.
Yeah. But this one, at least you got a couple, like maybe.
Yeah, let's go 105, 145. Gee, damn.
Well, you gotta give up something.
Throw them 241.
Yeah, that did.
They make it 239. Not both of them. Take off 241. Shit.
You want to do something with this?
Yeah, take that off. Take off 239. Oh, shit. Hold on now. That's crazy. Put on a 6th rounder from them. Yeah. Try it. It's going to fail, but try it. Damn. Okay. It was worth a shot.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you got it. Take that off. Take off the 7th. Take off the 7th rounder. Go.
Shut up, Jim. He's in a good place. He ain't thinking about no feet.
No. Counter. All right, so we took that off.
They didn't take it?
No.
One more time.
No, they didn't take it.
Damn it. Fine. Give him the 7th rounder. Jerks.
There you go. All right, so that results with that trade now gives you the remaining picks of it keeps moving. Hold on. All right, 105, 145, 152, 239, and 241.
Yeah, let's go to draft results. Scroll up for me, my friend. And Isaiah World has still not been taken off the.
That's crazy.
That's wild fair. So, like, here's where I would, man.
He's right here at 103.
103.
And we are at 105.
Look at the trades.
You get one offer to go back from 105 and give up 239 to pick up 108 and 170. So you move back 3 spots.
They're gonna pilfer you.
Yeah, you're right. I would go with Isaiah World now and hope you can still find
all right
linebackers, man.
All right now, kids. Now stop giving your virtues. Let them
I'm just putting it out into the world. We'll see what they say. You know what I mean? I'm just putting it out there.
All right, Levante, where you at?
I want to say a whole lot of shit, but I'm gonna shut up.
as we are here in still in the fourth round.
He wants to go with the linebacker, or look at the backs. Look at the backers.
All right, so he said no to the left tackle. Linebackers, there you go.
Mm-mm.
Perkins, Lewis, Elarms, or York, Daniels.
I'm gonna make a general statement. I think Jedrick Wills we're gonna be better with Jedrick Wills than y'all think. He's gonna bring something to the table. He's only 26 years old. Been through some major surgery, but I think he's gonna be better than y'all think. 26 years old. Just telling you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that whole major surgery thing, though.
Yeah, I know. He had the flu when he was in the 8th grade.
That didn't require him getting a whole new hip.
They don't perform major surgery for
All right, these are the linebackers we're looking at. Is the one that you want there? Need of center is real.
Click on both Perkins and Kyle Lewis for him. Let him take a look if he's really thinking about linebacker. I love either one of these linebackers. They're both great.
There's a draft pick.
Perkins.
Let's say Perkins. Let's see, Perkins. There you go. All right. So Perkins is selected. And as we move out of the fourth round into the fifth round, you still have 4 picks remaining.
Let's go over what we got.
All right, you got
don't do that. Don't do that now.
Well, you got an edge, you got a safety, you got a running back, you got a defensive tackle, you got a cornerback, you got a linebacker, and a defensive tackle again.
There you go. Yeah,
now you're back on the clock at 145. Next pick is at 152.
Go back to them draft results and scroll up for me, boss. Because I have a feeling. Yeah, there he goes. There he went. Miami.
Scroll said, Levante says go to all. He wants to see the top players available.
There's your dribbling. And he says, there goes your center.
Say center or there goes center.
Scroll. Logan Jones, thoughts, Nomad.
We did the breakdown on him. I told you he's perfect for the system. Outside zone, a little bit undersized, but makes up for it in the ability to be able to move and execute the blocking plan. Consistent, probably regarded as the best center in this draft. We did the breakdown on him a week ago, didn't we?
We did indeed. I just wanted you to reiterate. I think Logan Jones is a great selection.
But see here, Corny.
Corny is putting up.
You already got Grayson Halton. You already got Daryl Jackson. How many defensive tackles are you taking? There are other, positions of need to be addressed.
How many more picks are left? Trips. So we're on 145. We've got 152.
239 and 241.
That's crazy. You might be able to get both of these guys.
Jones. So we got Jones, the arguably best center in the draft, has been taken at 145. And now you're back on the clock at 152. Next pick, 239. And these are the top.
Just missed them. Just missed Proctor.
Oh, Proctor went at 146.
Just missed him. Scroll down in that. Oh,
There's still a lot of value on the board. Lots of it.
there's dribbling again. Who else we got out there? Trost. Oh, there's Trost at left tackle. I think that wouldn't be crazy either. Heidenreich. There's my boy. That's the one I would. That's the selection I would make right now. Word life.
The little wide receiver, all around weapon kind of returner fella.
Nah, Nadami Tucker. That's the selection I would make right
Tucker,
now.
where you see it? Ndami Edge.
Yeah, that's what I would.
Nadame Tucker's way down here?
Yeah, bro.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
Get your LT. Let's see. LT offense. You're looking at. There you go. Davis, Troost, Bell.
Sound like Levante Dunn on the line, on the old line. Those two guys are a good look. Trost and Davis are a good look. But if you're looking at something else, boy, ooh, dribbling, man. Nah, I would, man. Yeah, I would nominate Tucker for sure. That's what I would do. Double up on that edge, make that edge just a thing of beauty. Kurtz, where's Kurtz?
Kurtz.
Yeah, he just got a center. Scrolls.
We're gonna probably do a Devin Marshall breakdown this week. It's a corner out of South Carolina who I think can play outside, inside. He's one of the top, let's say top 10 corners in the draft.
So what you thinking there, Levante?
Oh, Kurtz. I know who you're talking about. You're talking about Olin's son. I'm not sure.
At center? Yeah, he's further down. And they already took a center.
Yeah, we just got Logan Jones. Nadame Tucker's 176 in the list. Levante, if you're asking.
Oh, is he asking?
He is.
Yeah, at 176, your next pick is 239.
Yeah, so you'd miss him with the next pick. It would have to be here.
If you like him, you got to strike now.
Unless there's another position that you feel you want to hit. The only other position I would be looking at right now, or you know, the only position you haven't hit is that left tackle position of need. There's some decent selections at the left tackle right now too. So I don't know what you guys are thinking.
What about wide receiver?
Great point. If it was me, go to WR. Look for. Keep scrolling down for me, boss. Yeah, that's who I'd be looking
I get Barry and Brown later.
I'd be looking for Xavier Thomas, and you can get that with pick 39 or 239, I think.
Red Baron thinks we're trading Swift on draft night.
Don't be that ain't quite.
Who wants to trade for him? What are they giving up for him?
I saw a wide receiver, running back hungry team.
The what?
Some running back hungry team. Who needs a running back?
Why don't they just draft one?
That's a great question.
All right, so he's saying left tackle here. Davis, Troost, Bell, Willis, Burke.
He wants to go
Davis
LT. He wants to go LT. So
Yeah. So JC Davis or Keegan Charles would be are the top two, and I think they're both. You know, I think we've covered both of these guys.
oh, slow down. He's giving the pick to Patrick. Handing it over to Patrick. I like that.
Yeah,
I love
Patrick. He likes JC Davis.
JC Davis is the pick.
There you go. All right. So
Basically hit every position of that's required, my bro.
So you take wide receiver last, tight end.
Well, he could go, man. I'll just tell you what he can do here in a minute, but it's beautiful.
I mean, this is the last pick, so
this is the final pick, or does he have 241?
Oh, and I got 241.
Yeah, two more. Yeah, bro.
What they do? Franchise tag Brees Hall?
Yeah.
Yeah. He ain't going nowhere with that kind of money on him.
Well, it's running back money though, right?
Well, 13.
Is it 13?
Something like that.
Wow, that's crazy.
13, 15, someplace around there.
I think it's lower than that. But you know.
And nope, still going. Go there. There we go.
Let's go straight to wide receiver for me, bro. Keep your eye on Xavier Thomas. I think he's gone already.
They saying he's going wide receiver here. I'll tell you what, is it slept on it here is Romello Brinson.
I think that's probably who we're gonna go with. Oh no, Xavier Thomas is still there.
We got Romello Brinson tape.
428.
I think Romello Brinson should have came out last year.
Why?
Because he was tough then. But this probably wasn't his market. This mock draft don't look like his market either, but I'm telling you,
it doesn't. It
doesn't.
doesn't.
Than where he's projected. A lot better. We'll do him in the next week or so.
Let's see. Take him who?
He's talking about Xavier Thomas.
Rasheed Rice, he reminds me of Rasheed Rice.
Who's Xavier Thomas?
No, Romello Brinson.
Romello Brinson.
Brinson, if you want a wide receiver. So between Brinson and the 6'2", 190 fella, or Thomas, the 5'10", 195-pound fella.
Okay, Levante Lex Brinson.
He didn't make the call. Let's let him make the official call. Just call it.
You say Brinson?
We'll break him down a little bit further, but that MF is tough.
There you go. All right, and so you're back on the clock with your final pick. Only position group, unless you want to double up on something, is tight end.
Crazy, or even tight end, or you could go get yourself Mikhail Kamara. You can do whatever you want here.
Go back in the trenches. Unless you go to all and see who the best players are at the top.
This is.
Okay. Let's slowly scroll through there. Okay. There's the Albert Regis. Did we get a linebacker? Oh, we got a linebacker. Bryce Boucher shouldn't be way down here. Le'Veon Moss, you kidding me? Slow down. Just slow down, Trish. Don't keep. Wow. There's some good players down in here. Tyree West. Xavier Sorley. Dylan Wade is a good guard out of Auburn. Kentrell Bullock can run that ball.
Said, look at Caden Curry.
Who's that? Oh, edge. Caden Curry, 6'3", 260.
I'm in the process with him too. He's solid.
Scroll up, boss. No, down a little bit. Sorry. Down a little bit more. Yeah, stop.
Good eye, Levante. He's solid now. He's solid. Somebody you don't got to count on right now. You can just let him keep working. It's a good pick. But there's some other really good players here.
It says check tight end now. Riley Nowakowski. Seydou Traore.
Very interesting cat. Max Bredson. RJ Maryland is probably the most interesting of the bunch.
Rohan Jones.
Y'all check some RJ Maryland tape out.
Patrick and Scholes are hating on the tight end selections. Available? I got no arguments with that. I don't. None of
Play a huge role in what we do offensively. Huge.
He says we can draft one next year if we trade we trade Komet. Komet's a free agent next year anyway, so like I'm with you. He says, Scrolls, you get the pick, man. What do you want to do, Scrolls?
Look out, Scrolls. What's happening?
Final selection in the 2025 draft.
Mr. Irrelevant goes to the Red Baron.
Yes, indeed.
Red Baron. Make it right, because we got to get up out of here. My girlfriend just came over here and gave me a timer.
He says Regis. Let's go.
There we go. Big Al.
Regis.
And Kathy Lee.
He's a D tackle.
Albert Regis.
That's it.
This dude.
This is it.
All right. Albert. Boom. All right.
Nice ass run defense, boys.
Yo, this is a crazy draft, bro.
So now that will complete Levante All's draft. And kids, go ahead and do the honors.
Absolutely. Yo, this might be the best single drafts thus far this season. I have to say, I really like this. And here's what it looks like. So 2025 Chicago Bears. Moving into the 2026 season, here's what we got. At pick number 31, Malachi Lawrence, edge rusher, UCF. Secondarily, at pick number 57, Genesis Smith, safety, Arizona. 63, Mike Washington Jr., running back, Arkansas. 69, Grayson Halton, defensive tackle, Oklahoma. At pick number 72, Keith Abney, 2, cornerback, Arizona State. At selection 92, Darrell Jackson Jr., defensive tackle, Florida State. Selection number 105, Harold Perkins Jr., linebacker, LSU. 145, Logan Jones, offensive center, Iowa. J.C. Davis at selection 152, offensive tackle, Illinois. Pick 239, Romello Brinson, wide receiver, SMU. Pick 241, Albert Regis, defensive tackle, Texas A&M.
Kids, do me a favor. Scroll down a little bit, Trips, and just go through the trades that happened there.
Sure. So we traded away pick number 25, pick numbers 129, pick number 28, traded away pick number a 2027 fourth rounder, pick number 60, pick number 89, 2027 sixth rounder again, pick number 95, and another 2027 seventh round pick. So I'll tell you, like, our draft is a little bit slim in 2027, but goodness me, this draft is anything but slim. You got every single potential selection, position of need covered. You got a running back as a luxury pick that'll definitely bear fruit. The interior defensive line is stacked. The offensive line is stacked too. And in my opinion, like, I'm not one who would go for the offensive tackle early in this draft, because we've got players at that position a little bit later on, and we just traded for one. So regardless, you got your offensive center and your offensive tackle on the left, more or less covered, worst come to worst, and in time. Safety's taken care of. Linebacker is taken care of. You added some real talent with Harold Perkins Jr. I don't know how he's as far back in this as he is. And you got yourself a wide receiver. You covered everything, man.
I'll tell you what we'll do. Just because you got a few guys on here that we haven't covered quite yet on here, I'll finish up the tape on 3 guys that I haven't finished on, and that's Romello Brinson, Keith Abney II, and also Genesis Smith. I'll finish those 3 tapes up in respect to what you guys did tonight, man. And shout out to y'all, man. This is good stuff. You're forcing my hand, but I'll make sure we do the proper breakdown on all 3 guys. My suggestion is, Trip and Kids, just take a look at those 3 guys, Genesis Smith,
sure,
Keith Abney, and Romello Brinson, so we can be a little comprehensive there. But yeah, we'll break it down for you all, man. Make sure you guys really know what they can bring to the table.
Levante says, send this to the Bears organization. He needs a job. He's trying to get hired. And man, I might actually hire you, bro, for this one. This is a crazy draft, bro. This is a good draft.
That was nice, man. I love all those guys, man. And me being a person that looks at tape and not numbers, I respect it in a different way. And man, those are some good freaking picks. And I'm not just talking because I'm telling you, those are some real good picks. And every single one of them is stuff that we need, doubling down, tripling down on the defensive front. Great idea. Making sure we got somebody that can replace some of the attributes of DJ Moore a little bit later in the draft. Great thing. Keith Abney is more of a slot corner, but he's good.
Hey, we need support at the you identified that earlier on. We need support at that particular position, right? Worst come to worst, if Kyler ain't doing good, we can put somebody in that position and allow him to excel.
Genesis Smith is gonna blow y'all socks off. He's I'm telling you, that Arizona secondary is, even though they play more zone coverage, he's that guy is gonna surprise a lot of y'all. He's gonna surprise a lot of y'all. And he's big too.
Man, shockingly good draft, Levante. Shout out to the chat as well for all y'all support in making that draft come to life. Patrick Higgins, Corny Squalls, Scrolls, M7922, AC Adams. Shout out to all you guys who participated along the way for sure.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Did you save that, Trip?
Yeah.
All right. So now you can go to the if y'all two are any way unsure of what those guys are, y'all can go to there and look and see who they are, so we can talk about at least those 3 guys. Even more if y'all want to talk about some other guys that we picked up. But man, what a good draft.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. All corners, all I's dotted, all T's crossed, man. Well done, well put together.
How about this, man, on this fine Easter Sunday, Passover, or however people are celebrating this, man? Y'all want to close it out with some final thoughts? Trip, you at the top, man, so we're going to start with you.
Yeah, final. It's gotta. It's so irritating because you know, when you wake up in the morning, you know, and your eyes just open for the first time, and you do that stretch where you go in that full body stretch. Know what I'm talking about? Well, when some days that's interrupted because I catch a cramp in my calf when I don't drink enough water,
Oh yeah.
and so I gotta like hop out of bed and get my foot flat on the floor to alleviate it, and then I'm up for the day and still half sleep. But then it's irritating because I gotta drink so much water so I don't get cramps, but I'm up all night pissing. And so I never really get to sleep. And so I'm tired as all get out. You know, got the itis from the day. You know, Levante with his draft is like, okay, that's cool, ready to knock out. But it's like, man, I gotta pee already, but I'm tired, and so I'm just irritated. I don't know, but yeah, it's a good end of the day. You know, saw the fam or some of the fam. You know, always happy for that. Spend time with, and then you know, came kick it. You know, for a little nomad at night as we are this much closer to the actual draft, and we can see if Ryan Poles and crew can be as half as good as Levante and crew.
Amen. Amen. Go ahead, kids. You muted.
Yeah, no, I got you. Just looking at what Scrolls is suggesting to me here in the world of gaming. We'll have to see what I do. I'll take a closer look at Crimson Desert. We'll see if it's any good. Maybe I'll give it a go. All that being said, thanks for hanging out with us on a Sunday, y'all. We appreciate it. On an Easter Sunday, y'all, we appreciate it. On a Passover Sunday, y'all, we appreciate it. However you celebrate and get down, I'm glad you did, and hopefully you enjoyed it. All that being said, big ups to the Nomad Network, to Sports Chicago Style, and to Keds the Canuck right here on YouTube. Give us a like, share, subscribe. Give us a comment. Do all of the above. We appreciate that, and we will hit you back if we can. I you know, as far as the show is concerned tonight, I think this draft was crazy good. Again, kudos to all y'all. Give yourselves a Iron Mike Sharp pat on the back, or Barry Horowitz pat on the back. For all y'all old school wrestling fans, you know what the hell I'm talking about. For the rest of y'all, I'm talking about old school wrestling. Beyond that, the players that we looked at today was a very interesting look. I really hadn't had the opportunity to look at Zion Young yet. I'm glad that I took a closer look today, because in that early, top of the draft situation, in my opinion, it's almost Akeem Mesidor or bust. And bust, in my opinion, means trade the hell out of the pick if he's gone. In this situation, we actually traded out of the pick and he was there. And with that being said, you guys did a fantastic job of getting that edge situation covered up, as well as doubling down on it, and among many other things. So again, shout out to you guys. But I needed to look at Zion to see what he is. I also needed to look at Mr. Gums, right? Mr. Gums looks great. A lot of talent there, a lot of developmental requirement for him. But again, I needed to see how that translates between one player and the next. And I think I've got an understanding as to why George Gums is as far back as he is versus versus a Zion Young. I think I understand what those two things are. And both of them are developmental talents. If you're going to develop, I would not suggest you do that with your top 50 pick. That being the case, looking then at Malachi, is it Malachi? Mikhail Kamara, my bad. Mikhail Kamara. That was a breath of fresh air. I truly have to say that. Again, very surprised, very excited. If the opportunity opens up, and from what he looks like, he could potentially even go undrafted. wow, you get yourself a Mikhail Kamara undrafted. Wow, you did something. You did something special after the draft. All those things being said, and then you rounded out with a Keontae Scott. Brilliant player at the nickel position. All of these guys, again, very interesting looks. And I think the Bears would be in a fantastic position if they're able to even potentially pick up any one of them. So we'll call it a night. Big ups to all you guys out there. And hopefully this draft that we're burgeoning into real soon looks something like what we put on paper here today. Because again, kudos to y'all. Y'all smashed it.
Amen to that, man. And again, man, thank you all for being here. Hope you guys are enjoying the holiday, enjoying the weekend. But more importantly, I appreciated y'all being here and appreciate the communication, the interactions that happen right now tonight. Triple R and kids running the mock draft, and Levante being very respectful of the chat, man, making sure that people had a say-so here. He didn't just go solo. Like Bobby Brown, he made sure that he was part of the group, and I appreciate that, man, because I love it. I love when you do stuff like that. So, yeah, man, we covered some guys tonight, man, and we're gonna do some more come Wednesday night on some extra sauce at 8 p.m. Central. The thing right now is really trying to dial in and trying to pay attention to the communications every little bit that we can get. We got the ownership and GM down there at the owners meeting, and they're doing a little talking. That's kind of over now. Now they're getting ready to really dial in. They're getting ready to really dial in Chicago, really narrow down that draft board, or maybe expand it to add some more players. And maybe they got some information down there. Who knows, man? But what we can do on the outside, on the perimeter as Chicago Bears fans, is try to get as close to the point of contact as we can. And the point of contact is in Palace Hall. And we're good at finding out little details and then bringing them to you, finding out what these player traits look like, through history. And, one of the things I heard Ryan Pohl say to Herb Howard today is he asked him the question about, what is it about the defense that having this new coach coming in, what do you think about that, and trying to move your personnel around and making sure you got the right people, something like that. I'm paraphrasing what Herb said to him. And he said exactly what we've been saying here on the channel forever. He said that he knew it was going to be a little bit more time. And I have to pause my comments right here because out of respect for the super chat, I got to do this, man. Give me a second. Shout out to Alex, the Bears fan, 1989 with the $2 super chat. We thank you so much. He says, hoping for Mesidor or Malachi Lawrence. We scooped Malachi Lawrence tonight. I don't know if you've been watching the whole time, but somehow we were able to finesse our way into scooping that guy up. We did a breakdown on him, Alex, probably 2-3 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. We definitely did a good, thorough breakdown on him. And you will like that. Just go to the Nomad Network channel. If you want to hear what we had to say about that, go there, put the name Malachi Lawrence in there, and you'll see it pop up. Go to the homepage, and it'll pop right on up for you. You can hear the breakdown. But thank you again for the $2 super chat. But yeah, it's anyway, the Herb Howard conversation was, he was describing, he knew it would take a little bit longer to get the defense of pieces than it would for Ben Johnson to get the pieces he needed on offense. So he knew that it was going to be at least a season before he can really get to the pieces that Dennis Allen was looking for. That's why I know. And he said he just found the channel. Alex, shout out to you and thank you. Do us a favor and share the information with people that love the Bears, man. Bring them on in here. They're going to love this channel. They love the Bears. They're going to love this. Promise you that. And welcome in, man. Hope you hit the subscribe button, man. But yeah, it's what we've been thinking. We knew it was going to be a year before Dennis Allen can really start changing over that defense and getting the pieces that he wanted. And that's why free agency looked the way it looked. The pieces that we got were Dennis Allen type pieces. That's why. And so that's what we have to look forward to. I just say a large majority of the draft is going to kind of look like Dennis Allen's move on the team. So this is what it's going to be, man. So that's why you're going to see more and more of us doing the shorts that are coming out. The breakdowns are going to come out. It's going to be probably defensive slanted. That's because I believe, and we believe over here, Gaz and Trips can tell me if they disagree, this is going to be more of a defensive draft. That's just what I believe. Y'all disagree or agree?
Wholeheartedly agree, man.
Yeah. Other than wide receiver, maybe running back, maybe tight end, maybe center, and maybe left tackle. Those 5 positions. I do see more of a need at safety. More scheme fits for cornerback, defensive tackle, and edge. So yeah, I could see and linebacker defense being more of the lion's share of the draft.
And I think it should be, because at the end of the day, when the Bears were in the thick of it in the season, it was definitely more of the woes on the defense, whether it be in regard to injury or whatever it was, just functionality altogether. The defense definitely kept our heartstrings kind of going, man. It was tough to look at, but Dennis Allen is a good coach. He was able to make do with what he had in a very successful way when he had to. So, as ugly as it looked at times, he was able to rally the troops and get us to, I think the last game that we played was probably one of the better defensive performances that I'd seen in the season. So that being said, man, I really look forward to this draft, because I'm one of those that believes that defenses do win championships. Defenses and teams that can run the ball. And for the past 2 seasons, if that hasn't rung true, I've never seen good football in my life. And so that's where we at, man. So all the Bears fans out there, stay tuned, man. We got a lot of good stuff coming on the Nomad Network, on Sports Chicago Style, and on Kids of Canuck. And we will see you on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Central for some extra sauce. And we're going to have a lot of coverage for all that stuff and a bunch more. But I got to leave you guys with these famous words: love, peace, and hair grease, y'all.